odd day today. Very different than usual.
Yeah, because
we figured we'd give you a stream this week instead of waiting 3 weeks.
yeah, it is mostly because once it becomes 3 weeks, it's really from oh yeah, what happened again?
We're gonna spend like 20 hours talking about anime.
Critters,
The
crittens,
critters,
damn.
my crittens, my critters. But yeah, no. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we figured we'd do a little bit of a weird stream,
Yeah,
weirdly timed stream than usual, just so that we can
like
chat
the
about the
wasn't.
animes.
I'm pretty sure back in the olden days, I always released the videos, the recorded videos we did on Wednesday at 12
I think so.
at 12 my time.
I
So
think so. No,
bit of
we're
harkening
going
back.
back. We're going back to basics. Basics with things. Funny that comes up. I was watching this like video we saw the other day about how cooking channels have all gone to shit.
Ooh,
And it was
that
kind
will
of
come
weird.
back a little later for me, but
Well, it was kind of weird because the guy like I think he made a pretty good argument as to like why a lot of them have gone to shit. It's mostly just due to corporatization and how YouTube like playing the YouTube game kind of ruins it. But then he like it's kind of weird because full disclosure, I'm pretty sure the guy's a commie to start with,
yeah.
because what happens is he does this thing right where it's like the part of the video is like, okay, here's like these different food channels. So you had like Giga Foods and fucking Joshua, what's his name, Washman, Binging with Babish, those guys, right? And he kind of goes over, okay, here's like the history of their channel and like where they went to shit, right, and what happened, right? And then like he makes some pretty good arguments, and I felt he was like pretty fair, like he wasn't like just shitting on them, right? He like
Mm-hmm.
went through like he was fair, but then at the very end of the video, he goes on this whole fucking like 20-minute diatribe about how oh well we have to remember to treat these people like humans and it's really like the capitalist fucking da 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 da, da fault that the thing da ba da ba da and we can't really blame them and we should blame the systems and the ba 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 and I'm just like all right okay buddy I get you
Mm.
because I was interested in like because I watched I watched a lot of those food channels, right? I was interested in the like okay, how have they become slop? And a lot of them have kind of become slop because they went from making like okay, here's how you like make a burger from SpongeBob, or here's how you can cook takeout at home,
Ah.
right? And then they turn into I'm gonna rank every single fast food burger in America. Watch me eat McDonald's, right? I'm gonna do all this fucking slop shit, right? That no one. It's like like that shit will get you money, right? But it's kind of yeah. So
It's yeah, no. I believe the YouTube incentives will inform the content that's being made.
yeah, because I think what ends up happening is you get to a point where you get so big, right? Like a
Mm.
lot of these people, they start hiring people, they start, moving into a studio instead of like doing it in their kitchen, right? They start fucking, they have to start playing the game. So I'm not necessarily saying that like the system, isn't to blame or anything. I just think like 20 fucking minutes of a hour long video just to say the same thing like 5 times, right? Come on, man. come, come,
Yeah,
come
yeah.
on, man.
I'm not.
It's a little bit fucking much. It's a little bit because he made that point throughout the video as well, right? Like while he was like dissecting what happened, he's
Mm.
like making that point, right? And it's like that's all well and good and fine. Like I understand where you're coming from, but holy shit, you don't need to have like a whole like that video didn't have to be an hour long. Is the problem? That
All
video could
right.
have been like half an hour, maybe a little bit more or less, right? And it would have had the same impact and the same message, and it would have been really good. But yeah, and I don't remember the channel name. It was like I don't think it's in my history either. I'd have to dig it. It was like But it was some video we say about fucking. You'd have to search it on YouTube. It was like fucking why food channels go to slop or some shit. And it was just a guy. But it was interesting.
Yeah, I have good news to tell the people at home.
Hey.
My Switch 2 confirmed. I'll get it. Nintendo man will personally deliver a Switch to my house, and I'll play it.
Miyamoto will personally show
Yeah.
up at your house and install your Switch for you. He will
Yeah.
personally. You can't. That would be really funny. He shows up as like the delivery man. He's got like the hat and the
Yeah.
fucking, like uniform on, and he's like incognito, right? He's like incognito
Wink, wink.
Miyamoto. Wink, wink.
No picture. No picture.
Starts-
No photo. No photo.
Yeah, he just yeah.
Nah, it's the credit card got charged. I put my money that I saved to add towards the credit card, so the balance isn't as big. Doesn't really matter. I have the money.
No credit, no credit card debt.
No, zero.
No.
It's all fine. So now it's waiting until the 5th, and then I'll have my Switch. I'm not going to plan big gameplay things. This is not. I don't really have the lifestyle, the schedule to do that stuff, and also because I don't have a gaming channel or not oriented towards doing that stuff. I'm not going to wait to play the games that I want to play. I'm going to play the game.
Play your shit, King.
Yeah.
play your games, King.
I played Metaphor, like the first chapter of it, and then all right. I'm not going to wait to play the rest, and then I did the whole rest of the game in a week instead of like 2 days 2 days a week that I could stream it at a time that people expect us to. Nah, that's not going to work. I'm going to get my Switch. I'm going to enjoy it, and I'll tell you about it the next time we'll do a thing.
Nice. Sounds good.
Speaking of Nintendo Japan, I've been slowly making my preparation to go to Japan. This is relevant for you people because I'll be gone for a whole month. So reminder.
Probably won't be streaming.
No.
Streaming live from Tokyo.
Well, we did theorize that Naretsu could set up the stream and do the stream, and now
I could theoretically, but I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. So I bought a big backpack with those wings that you then strap around yourself, and then all the weight is on your hips. You know those backpacks?
Yeah. Those
well, I bought one of those, and it was a terrible one, which was just a belt rather than having real wings.
Oh, no.
So I tried it on, and I thought, oh damn, this is trash, and then I sent it back. And I bought one that is twice as expensive because I guess I bought the cheap one. I didn't really realize.
Yeah, you want to buy, get the. You get what you pay for, right?
Yeah, but it was already 80 euros. I thought, all right, 80 euros for a good bag, that sounds reasonable. And then, oh no, this is actually terrible quality. So I found one that looked better, and it was 200 euros. So all right, double the price. I guess that's what I should.
It better be fucking good for 200 euros.
Yeah, but it's kind of weird because
It better be fucking good for 200 euros.
On bol.com, the regional Amazon, not Amazon of the Netherlands. It was all the same stuff. It was all this €80 bag, and it looked fine enough. But positive reviews from I bought this and I liked it. All right, good, I guess. I should write my own negative review to warn the people.
Yeah.
But now it's waiting till the new bag comes in, and also I got my international driver's license. So I have not really planning to, but I could drive a car in Japan with the piece of paper that I got. Unrest, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. So yeah, it's now just buying some gear, backpack, driver license.
Yeah, get all your travel essentials.
And better do it 2 months in advance than 2 days in advance.
Mm-hmm.
I found my passport was buried under some other papers. Where is my passport? All right, it's here. Oh, so the countdown has started. And then after almost 10 years, I'll be back in Japan. See what has changed. But yeah, that's my thing for the past 2 weeks. Also, I've been gardening.
As always, I don't have a whole lot. I did my eyes are going to shit, so that's great.
Oh no! Well, no. In what way?
No, my prescription's just changing. It's I got new glasses basically because it was funny though because I hadn't got in for like 3 years, and I go in and like I get the they do the tests, they put the puff the ear into your eye, and they do the you got to look at the little blimp in the distance, and it auto focuses and the machine does its thing, right? And then I sit down with the optometrist, and he's like, have you noticed any changes? Have you noticed anything different from the last time you were here? And I'm like, not really, no. And he's like, that's kind of odd. And I'm like, what the fuck do you mean?
Should it be different? Question mark.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? Well, I didn't like say that, but I was like, oh, okay. And he's like, all right, well, let's do the thing, and then I have to read out the letters and do all the thing, and he's like showing all the different lenses and stuff. He's like, well, so basically what's happened is usually a change of like 1 or 2 steps, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that's normal, that's fine. This is like a 3-step change on one of your eyes, and he's like, that's like on the border of kind of weird, kind of odd. It's that extreme. But then he clarifies basically, like looking at your eye health, like your pathology, right? Like absolutely nothing wrong with your eyes. Your eyes are fine, like physically, right? There's nothing, no damage, no weird stuff. It's just they're changing shape in a very interesting way. So he was like, I highly recommend you get some new prescription glasses, because he said like because I'm close-sighted or
nearsighted, I think.
Yeah, because too much fucking screens, right? Looking at things too close. But he mentioned basically, without the glasses, I'm at about 85% vision, right?
Yeah.
With my current prescription, I'm at about 95. With my new prescription, I'm going up to 110%. So, and I felt it when I got the glasses this week. I was like, holy shit. I don't have to strain to see shit anymore.
No, very coincidentally, I also got my eyes checked recently, like 2 weeks ago. It's basically the same. Not changed. I'm still at my... I don't know.
Yeah.
I still am at... my vision before... well, with glasses, of course. Everything with glasses. 1.25. I don't know. It was like.
Right. I think one of my eyes is at like, because my eyes are different.
Yeah, mine the same.
One of them is now at 1.25, and then the other one is like, I think like 8.85. Like it's There's some weird shit going on there.
What is the reflection? Do you use numbers like I'm personally I've like -4 average on both eyes?
I don't know particularly. Like I was just looking at the screen while I was doing it, and I noticed that that's what it said. Wasn't really paying. Like I didn't ask him that because he just described it in like steps of change. So like. Again, like if you have like 1 or 2 steps of change within like 2 to 3 years, that's like normal.
Oh, that's relatively. Like I in the feel. Well, yeah. I guess I can if at least we use the same standards. That's the big question. What's the standards that they use over there?
Yeah, and I have no fucking idea.
No, I know my. I'm a -4, and my vision would be like 1.25. blah blah blah. And I did a very brief search. I believe my vision then in American thing would be 1620.
Okay.
Because
I'd have to
2020 is
ask. Maybe
perfect,
next
and then it's
maybe
like
when I go in again in 2 years, because he recommends that I start going in every 2 years now, because just to keep an eye on it. Pun intended. But no, I got some new glass. Because my mum actually helped out, so I just got, because I was gonna get, because I actually really like my old frames, so I was gonna get my old frames refitted, but then I wouldn't have glasses for like a week. So it's probably better, because it's not like my old prescription. Like I can, it definitely helps again, right? Like it's fine. Like it was all right, but the new ones definitely are a lot better. They're a lot better. But
no,
so I got a new frame.
I did.
So I got a new.
Oh, sorry, I did a very quick check. Yeah, my vision would be 1620, I guess. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah. I'd have to ask him next time. So like, basically, yeah, I've got a new set of frames for my general glasses, and then I have a now I've got a spare, and then next time I go in, I'm just going to get the frames redone for the ones that are the spare. So I'll just kind of interchange the frame, because it's cheaper to obviously just get the new lenses than it is to buy a whole new frame. So I'm going to do that. And I'm also going to have to do my sunglasses too, but I might do that near the end of the year because I have prescription sunglasses as well. Because I'm mostly using my glasses. Because I'm mostly using my glasses outside when I need to look at shit in the distance.
Yes.
I don't really need them when I'm like at home and inside, because everything's pretty much, close by. But when I'm outside, walking around and doing stuff, I kind of need to be able to see distance shit. And if it's sunny, I want to, have sunglasses. So I do have prescription sunglasses.
Do you have to legally wear sunglasses when you go drive?
Oh well, I don't drive, so I don't have to.
But,
you're allowed to wear you're allowed to wear sunglasses as long as they're not polarized. But
no, sorry. I meant if at your vision, would you be able to legally drive without?
Probably not.
All right.
Well, I'd probably legally, I'd probably legally be able to drive, but I know for a fact it would be a pain in the ass.
All right, then I'm calculating your vision in my language to be like a -1.5, maybe 2.
Maybe, yeah. It's pretty, yeah. But yeah, pretty much. New glasses, nice fancy new frames. They look really good. Definitely help. So yeah.
All right, enough about our real life. We talked too much about our real life.
We gotta get into realistic animes. We got some hyper realistic anime.
See, we also got Magician when he was not busy with his real life.
Yeah.
Let me do a quick whoosh.
Yeah, we're gonna do a whoosh. So we're talking about a grounded versus unrealistic. It's a shame the thumbnail doesn't show up on the.
No,
because we've got Bocchi the Rock compared to the Crying Girls band.
Yeah, I mean I watched both, and personally I maybe prefer the Crying Girls.
The Crying Girls. Well, I'm a Bocchi man. I did like my Bocchi, so.
I did too. I'm not going to say.
I could talk on the Bocchi side of things.
Oh, you'll be the Bocchi stan. I'll be the
Bocchi stan. You'll be the Cry Girl stan. Yeah. But so we were talking earlier before we went live, because I checked this guy's channel, and his channel's really funny because it's like he starts off kind of doing like Avatar stuff and like a little bit of Jujutsu Kaisen, like your typical stuff. And then Frieren shows up and his entire fucking channel just becomes nothing but Frieren videos. Just constant, like every fucking upload is just a Frieren video for like the last year.
So what I think happens, right? I picked this video.
Yeah. Give it. Yeah, tell the chat your theory.
My theory is that. He did this YouTube thing, la 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 la. I'm doing YouTube. Wow, what fun! Yoo-hoo. And then he was like, then he says, "Oh, Frieren is good," and he makes a YouTube video says, "Frieren is very good," and then people go, "Whoa, insightful! Frieren is good. I like that." And then he goes from, "Oh, people like when I say Frieren is good. Let me make 90 videos that says Frieren is good.
Yeah, I'm gonna make 200 videos about how Frieren is good. Yeah.
And then people go, "Whoa, you're so insightful. Frieren is good.
Yeah, holy shit.
Tell me more."
A good anime is good? What?
And then he goes, "Oh damn, I'm so smart. I'm so insightful. I can tell so much people who I'm so smart. So I'm going to tell all people how they should think about anime and how they should expect their fiction to be."
Yeah, it's an and I swear we did one of this guy's videos before I recognized the avatar, but I couldn't like see the one that we did, so
No.
I don't remember.
But yeah, what I have is my conspiracy theory. Like, this is maybe he got a little bit, too cocky and said, "Oh, I can tell you what good fiction is."
Yeah, see, Jake knows. Jake knows that we did. He the archivist of the chat.
Oh,
he knows that we did. But yeah, no, it's interesting how that's kind of how the channel sort of seems to have evolved. He's just decided to put all his money into Frieren, which I mean, kind of understandable. I can kind of see, because again, Frieren is good. It is a good thing. I just don't know if you need like 28-minute videos to tell you that fucking.
Should I've jumped on the hating terrible writing advice channel? Should I have been jumping on that train?
Yeah. Yeah, every upload Writing Advice does, you have to do a counter upload.
Yeah, hey, I'll be the hater, and people will come to my channel video to say, "Oh, you're so terrible." I'll ignore them and build my audience on being a hater.
Alright, it's crack time, so let me just come on in here and...
Hey, that's a good one.
That was a really good one, yeah. Alright, so...
the writing redaction.
At least he chose an actual good show. Hey, Samu made it for the crack.
Just on time.
Just on time. He chose to make it on an actual good show to build his channel around. I remember when the standard was you tie your channel to any moderately popular shonen. Yeah, I mean, yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
I'm not going to hate on those channels though. They're having fun. I'm not even going to hate on this guy in particular for that. I'm going to hate on him because
we'll hate on him if the video's shit.
Yeah, if my theory is correct and he got just a big head from being told you're so right, my king, then I'm going to hate on this guy video.
Yeah. All right, well let's get right into it. Oh, hang on.
In storytelling, how important is realism? I've been thinking about this a lot recently, because one of the most frustrating ways a story can break my immersion is focusing on a topic that they don't understand. But on the opposite side of the spectrum, stories that get lost in the pursuit of realism can lose track of what's most important, making a story that's emotionally resonant and entertaining.
I already hate this guy's editor.
Very deep, emotional.
It's like fucking film school posh. Look at me. I'm a big film guy, editing style, video essay style, right?
Yeah.
I mean, look. To all credit, right? The skills involved in editing this kind of stuff is pretty intense, right? I'll give him that, right?
It's a lot of effort, at least.
To me, it just screams kind of pretentious. That's all. But I did kind of want to like cut in there because he's using a lot of really fancy words a little bit because. When we talk about realism, right, there's kind of this disconnect a lot of people have where they mistake realism for immersion, right? Because he said immersion, right? Like, and how, certain things will break immersion and whatnot. And this shows up more in video games than it does in anime. But I guess it could also apply to anime as well, in a sense, where there's a difference between what is realistic and what is immersive, right? And I'll use like Skyrim as an example because that's what I'm familiar with, right? Skyrim modding, right? You have a lot of these mods that'll add like, frostfall and, like realistic, cold and weather and oh, you freeze to death if you're out without the right clothing and all this kind of stuff. And those kinds of things are obviously like based on realism, but they're not super realistic. right?
Yeah,
'Cause if
yeah,
it was
you're
super realistic,
it's immersion instead.
it's immersive, yeah, because it adds a layer of complexity to the world that you have to kind of navigate, right? And some people are not into that, right? Because they'll just be like, "Oh, this is just tedious. Why do I want to wear my bikini armor in the middle of a fucking snowstorm, right?
Mhm.
like I don't give a shit, right?" So I think it really does kind of depend on the person, right? I feel like, and I feel like what happens is people will argue, oh, I want things to be more realistic, right? I want my anime to be more realistic. When what I think is actually happening is they are not vibing with the show and not getting immersed in the show for whatever personal reason they have, right? And they're mistaking that for credits for the anime not being realistic, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah, I'm all right. So that ninja show I'm watching, right? The assassin and ninja girl,
Yeah, the funny ninjas, yeah.
the funny ninjas. Last time I talked about that her breasts got comically huge. I showed you an image right now.
I saw some pictures. Yeah,
I was not exaggerating when I said her breasts go to her waist.
Mm.
So, but also the show is starts being very genuine and realistic about. All right, now she has massive breasts. So what? How she's going to cook with mirrors and with mirrors so she can see what's happening beneath her breasts and her tripping more easily, her getting almost like a disability kind of slice of life because of her big breasts. And that's suddenly realistic, almost feel like. Suddenly the show breaks its funny surrealism to give you realism. And that's, oh damn, that's interesting.
But I feel that's an interesting example because, yeah, and it is interesting because it's kind of like using realism as the gag.
Yes.
Right? Like the fact that it's portraying this 100% seriously and unironically is part of the. Oh, excuse me. It is part of the, joke.
Yeah. Well, personally, alright, this is maybe going a bit too in depth, but I don't even really think it's part of a joke. It's suddenly inserting a different vibe and a very genuine vibe into it.
Tone shift, yeah.
A very big tone shift, yeah.
So looping back to the
Yes.
video, right? Because I mean we're only 20 seconds in, but I wanted to kind of touch on this like differentiation between something being realistic and something being immersive, because I'm interested to see if he kind of makes that distinction in the video, because I feel that's a really important thing when talking about this, because you could have something be like, there's so many games that try to be realistic and then they end up just not being fun because let's be honest here, realism isn't fun. Real life is not fun, right? That makes sense, right? Having to like eat and do tedious shit to stay alive is not fun. So why would I want to do that in my video game? But if it's done in a way that adds to the immersion of it, right, then that's a different story, right? So let's see what chat's got to say, because we've got a lot of chats going on. He sounds like he's about to explain why the curtains are blue. Yeah, exactly. That's what the vibe I get is.
But then
right?
badly instead.
Yeah, but they're badly. Yeah, like again, it feels like I went to film school. I learned how to use DaVinci Resolve or whatever to do it. Bro is setting up realism equal immersion, but confuses immersion with individual suspension of disbelief. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Jake gets what I'm saying, right? Because like everyone kind of has their own like suspension of disbelief limits, right? And we all kind of have our own like point where things kind of like, it'll go from, okay, yeah, I'm immersed in this, and then it does something that completely jumps the shark, and you're like, fuck it, it's gone, immersion's gone, rip, it's done. Does a show need to be realistic to be immersive? I don't really think so. A show talking about loneliness but uses boxers and kangaroos to portray it doesn't make me not immersed. Silly Naretsu, that's why. If but no, I agree with Samu, right? It's like, yeah, no, you don't have to be realistic to be immersive, and that's why I think people kind of get like confused, because especially when you look at it, because a lot of these like immersive mods, right, to loop back to the Skyrim stuff, they get pinned as being all about the realism, right? And I think that shows that there's definitely a confusion in the normies, right? of this happens all the time where like people will like not have the words to describe what they mean, so they fall back on like a different word that might not 100% fit, but it kind of gets the message across. I feel like immersion and realism is like that, right? Where people will say, oh, I want something that's realistic, but what they're really asking for is, I want something that's going to be immersive to me, right?
Yeah. Well, let's do the rest of the video, or at least the next 5 seconds.
Oh, yeah, let's see where he goes.
Can be something that bogs a story down. That's why it's more important for a story to feel realistic than be it. There are 2 shows that demonstrate this difference really well. They're both popular and well-received recent releases that focus on music, Bocchi the Rock and Girl Band Cry, where one showcases a deep understanding of what it's like to play and learn music, the other's out of touch with what it's like to be a musician, because this one focuses on loving music more than the act of learning it. So what do these 2 anime show us about realism? My name is Pei, and today we're talking about how different shows can be successful in opposite ways.
Okay.
I'm annoyed. He's going to trash talk my show.
Yeah. He loves the Bocchi, but he's not so keen on the Crying Girls band.
There's a whole this small arc about, oh no, you're trash at guitar. Don't even try it. You'll never be good enough before the play.
And this is all so fucking funny in the context of Ladies Modesty coming out this season, because like it would be really funny if this was like a trifecta, right? And you had, because Ladies Modesty is like the fucking like demon child, right? In this scenario, because it's so different, right? Because it's more like, yeah, no, it's they're all kind of combating each other. There's like big rivalry, right? There's oh, I hate this bitch, I'm gonna fucking be better than her, right? Oh, god damn it, her music is enslaving me, I need to fight back, right? There's this kind of combativeness to it, which is a little bit different than Bocchi or Girls Band Cry in a sense, where it's a bit more about the camaraderie.
Yeah, and Girls Band Cry, it's alright. It's not about. Alright, even then, so Bocchi the Rock is not about being good at guitars. She's already good at guitar. She's already the master of music.
I was gonna say too. Yeah, like she it's established really early on. Like, no, she's already like a successful like YouTube streamer / video maker,
cover player.
Yeah, she's like already famous, semi-famous.
Yeah.
Anonymously famous, right?
And Girls Band Cry Girl is not good at guitar, but the show doesn't really focus on her getting good in that sense. It's about how is it like to be a magician. How is it like
a magician? What is it like to cast
musician.
We're gonna cast some spells and do some magic. No, I get you. I feel you. Don't worry. It's okay. But like, no, it's
all about fighting. It's all about conflicts, different goals, fighting for your
dream in a sense, right? Like you're fighting for the dream, right?
And what it means, and I want you to do this, and no, I don't want to do that. I want to quit next month.
Whereas,
I don't want you to quit.
Bocchi is like a completely different vibe, because Bocchi is like more about her social awkwardness and overcoming her like flaws, right? And getting better at being able to like come out of her shell, right? And this is all because I remember when you talked about like Girls Band Cry, and it's like, she like runs away from home, her family isn't supportive, she feels like she's trapped in school, she gets in a fight with a chick you know, a boy or whatever, and gets punished for it, and she's like, "Fuck this, I'm out." Right? Bocchi, it's like, nah, the parents are super supportive, and everyone's like, "Yeah, you're great, cool, yeah, hell yeah, right, yeah." Like, it's completely different vibe. Yeah. So
my girl is the worst character other has ever lived.
Right. Yeah. So let's go.
For a big portion of my life, I always wished that there was more good media that focused on what it's like to try to be a musician.
That's
And don't get me
Golden
wrong,
Cry.
stories that focus
Well, there's shitloads. Isn't there like shitloads of media? That
In
fucking
the
focus
end,
on,
but
like, music shit? What the fuck is he talking
of course,
about?
I'm not watching every show about music bands or whatnot.
Listen, man, you gotta watch School of Rock with Jack Black to really understand.
No.
To really understand music.
But Girls Band Cry has a whole thing about, oh, we need to try to go professional. We need to, get attention from a recruiter, to get a label, to get a studio, la la la
Gotta
la
go
la.
through the system. Yeah.
So there's your show. If you want a show that focuses more about the organizational career pathway thing over how to become good at guitar, then Girl Band Cry is about
peak
career.
Anime class of 3000. Yeah, there you go. God. But anyway, let's go.
on musicians are very common, but maybe because it's so romanticized, it's often used in a way that's incredibly shallow. Something you may not know about me is I have a background as a professional musician. It was
Oh, look at that! Look at that! He
Neat.
does the yeah. Look at that! He's got a background. Look at that.
far from a stable or fruitful career, but I've dedicated a huge portion of my adult life to learning and making music. And with some rare exceptions, a lot of media doesn't do musicianship justice.
So, here's the problem I'm seeing. Does it not do musicianship justice, or does it not do your story of musicianship justice? Right? Because I find it very hard to believe, because I found it interesting when he mentioned, like, oh, it's romanticizing it, right?
Mhm.
Like, I found that to be an interesting kind of clue here in this little case we're on, right? This little investigation into this guy's video. I found that to be a really interesting kind of tell, right? Because he I know he's not mad about it, but like what he has a problem with is that the media portraying music and musicians and all this stuff is too, fantasized. It's too romanticized compared to the reality of the situation. Because I'm willing to bet, right, if he's, he's doing the music grind, he's putting his stuff on Spotify, he has like a side channel where he does music or whatever, right? And like, he's probably had to go through like the pain, right? He's had to grind his way to being like a musician, right, and do musician-y things, right? Because the life of a musician, just the like the life of most artists, is not fucking easy, right? In reality, not everyone's going to make it, right? There's going to be people that don't make it. So I feel like what's happening is he has a personal experience and he wants to see that personal experience projected into the media he consumes. And while that's not necessarily a bad thing, like being able to relate with the media you're watching is always fun, right? I feel like that does blind people to the actual quality of stuff, if that makes sense. Because you're so busy like looking for like the stuff to relate to that you're not actually like engaging with the media for what it is, right? Very common thing that I think I've probably talked about this on Twitter back in the day quite a bit is this idea of like people will get mad at a show for not being the version of the show that they want it to be in their head, right?
Yeah.
They have an idea of what they want the show to be. And then when the show isn't the thing that they want it to be, they think it's a failing of the show and not on them for thinking that it's something completely different, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I'm always I'm not going to necessarily, unless they make a very big deal out of it, that they're wrong
I am doing a bit of armchair psychology, psychoanalyzing right now. But
no, I'm not going to. I'm not going to necessarily harp on the people that think, oh, I thought it was going to be this thing, and I would like it to have been that thing, and oh no, that's too bad of the show. I would have liked it better if it was this or that, and blah blah blah. I'm not going to say those people are necessarily wrong, because opinions and
I mean,
preferences.
for me it depends. For me, we've had this conversation before, but for me it depends on how they go about it. Like if they are like fucking viciously attacking the show because it's not what they wanted it to be, then that's different to like being slightly disappointed, right? There's a difference there, I think, in the severity.
Mm.
Isn't that just front-loading expectation onto a story? A little bit, yeah, Jake, yeah, a little bit. It's like, because I've seen people do this, right? I've seen people go into something, like, I mean, that was one of the main things with the guy that got me so fucking mad about the magic, when he was talking about Magical Girls, the wolf guy, that we covered, like, ages ago. When he was like going through, because remember that he was like going through all of these different scenarios and all of these different, like he had created like an entire fan fiction version of the show in his
didn't he change his thumbnail and title like 3 times or something?
Yeah, and he got like shat on because he was doing Epstein jokes and shit and calling everyone pedos for watching the show. But like he had this like whole like alternate reality in his head. Like, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about, right? Where it's like you have like an entire fucking different perception of reality, and then when reality isn't like that perception, they have a fucking meltdown over it and make like an hour-long video about how it's fucking not what they expected. It's like, goddamn, dude.
Yeah,
that vid was crazy. Yeah.
I've forgotten all about it, as usual.
Well, we have a 1 hour long. Is it a 1 hour long clip? I can't remember how long the clip was, but it's the one where it's like Naretsu's descent into like insanity or whatever, where I get like super fucking tilted. I get super tilted by that one. But yeah, no. Looping back to this guy though, I'm getting not like to the same extent, like probably more to what you're saying, where it's like he's just disappointed that his story isn't being reflected in it, because something that I feel people like this have to kind of contend with is the reason that stuff gets romanticized and fantasy a lot is because that actually makes it, funnily enough, it makes it more relatable for the layman, right?
Yeah.
For the person, because if they get like hyper realistic, in depth with like what happens in the music industry, and fucking like, oh yeah, all this backstabbing and ditty parties and and shady shit and all this stuff. Like most normally people, they're not really there for that. They're there for like, oh, you've got like the narrative of the character, right? Like you have, like, let's use Bocchi, right? They're watching the show for like, oh, this is the story of how a young girl from Japan with social anxiety manages to rise to the top of the so and so, right? So,
as Naretsu, small factoid from the realistic life I have a family member, a close relative, who is actual musician, doing the actual guitar thing, playing the music thing, and from what I understand, he lives in a small shared apartment house and, is in 5 different bands at the same time to play as many gigs as possible and whatnot. And calendars are empty and full, slow seasons, big seasons.
He is doing that grind set.
Joining up in contests and tournaments and gigs and trying to get into festivals and all that stuff, applying to different bands and all that stuff. Naretsu, that's a lot of work, actually. I don't think that seeing your character applying to 5 different bands, getting invited into 2 and rejected by both of them is for no reason is good storytelling, because the storytelling was, so why is he rejected? Oh, because of this character flaw, then he needs to fix this character flaw. That's not realistic. You're not getting
And that's
rejected
kind of
for.
and that's kind of comes back to what I was saying about like realism versus immersion, right? Like you have to make is it realistic that you have like the character constantly getting rejected by music labels and not and being stuck in like gigs and all that shit? Yeah, that's realistic. But is that fun to actually watch? No, right?
It's not. Yeah.
People want a narrative. People want a narrative. They want a story
If you-
structured
if-
narrative,
if
beginning,
some-
middle, and end. That kind
If
of
somebody
shit.
gets rejected for any reason in the story, it needs to have a reason, a follow-up, an opportunity to grow. But what if there is no reason? What if it's because the other person was lazy and bad? Then there's no story narrative reason to do that. So are you going to write that in the story? He got rejected for no reason and he'll just, bum around in a room for a month because the other person was too lazy. The other person was too lazy to check the phone.
Yeah, exactly.
So you'll never get your I'm circling back to Retsu. You'll never get your realistic musician life experience because that's a terrible story.
Exactly. So anywho, let's keep going.
A story that I believe is very in touch with making music is Bocchi the Rock. Since I've watched it, I've consistently used it as a strong example of understanding musicianship. We'll get to that in a second. But when I made those videos talking about Bocchi the Rock, consistently people suggested I also watch Girl Band Cry. Now, I believe this show is pretty solid, and I get why so many people wanted me to watch it. It's the first show I've seen use CG in a way that didn't break my immersion. I'm historically a huge hater of 3D animation.
Oh, so unique.
He's like the Buzz Lightyear fucking. I usually don't like 3D CG in anime, but this one manages to do it differently, or some shit, right? So yeah, it's quite funny. It's actually interesting how like the 3D CG stuff has definitely evolved over time. And a lot of studios have started getting a lot better at using it.
Oh yeah, I saw.
I
don't know. I saw a clip of a horse girl show.
Oh yeah, the Musume.
Yeah, and it was like a
Yakuza, yeah.
a somewhat dance scene, and
oh yeah, I know the one. Yeah, she's doing like the dance. Yeah.
And it looks, she looks 2D enough. It looks drawn enough. But you can those movements they're a bit model-y. But yeah, it looks fine enough. So we are at the point that studios can reasonably add 3D models in a show and not be horribly jarring or off model or all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, funnily, and it's funny because again, Rock is a lady's modesty. Every now and then you'll see that 3D pop up, right?
Oh yeah, and when they play music, guitars, whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll pop up, and it looks alright. It looks fine. It's not. I wouldn't say it's as high quality as like a Girls Band Cry CG, right? But it works. It works. But anyway,
yeah, I mean,
first example.
All right, I'm just gonna say that Jake mentions Ajin.
RG,
I'll go one step further. I think that Knights of Sidonia is actually fine enough. If the
I remember that. Yeah.
Frame rate should, be like doubled maybe, but
maybe.
The models and whatnot and the action that happens is fine enough. Just I wish it was a higher frame rate. I'm speaking like it's a video game.
Yeah. All right.
Well, that's really started to change my mind. It's also pretty well made and written. However, the first couple episodes showcase huge gaps in understanding what playing music is actually like. Now, there is the possibility that these were deliberate writing decisions that prioritized emotional beats in the story over realism. I think the pilot is a really good example
guess? You think?
Maybe? Question mark?
How good this is, and also how it totally misses the mark when it comes to musicianship. The story starts by following a character named Nina Isari, a high school dropout moving to the outskirts of Tokyo in an attempt to find some sort of direction and dream. On her way to her new apartment, she finds herself completely perplexed by Tokyo's metro. Overusing her phone to try to navigate the complex train system, it eventually dies. By the time she finally arrives at the realtor's office to get her key, it's too late and he's gone home. With a dead phone and no key, she goes to her apartment to see if there's a spare. She has no luck, and with a mix of teenage angst, she refuses some help from her neighbors. She ends up charging her phone at some random chain before she sees on social media that one of her favorite indie bands is performing nearby. She rushes over and finds the lead singer busking on the side of the street. This entire pilot episode I think is very strongly written, and this scene is the first that indicates what I think this story is prioritizing: a deep love for music. She introduces herself to the singer Momoka in kind of a charming way. After some silly conflict with some other buskers, they end up getting food together. They go to karaoke and Nina shares her circumstance. Through conversation, it's revealed that Momoka left her band and is actually moving back home. Nina, an otherwise timid character, pushes back aggressively. But despite that, Momoka still plans to leave the next day. Nina stays the night as she doesn't have anywhere else to stay, and she wakes up to find that Momoka has left her guitar. Time passes before Nina chases down Momoka in the evening at the train station, trying to convince her to stay. Now this is the setup for the climax.
Holy shit. It's almost like the show is about the motion.
Yeah. If anything, it's all about
feels.
It's all about
feels.
It's all about belonging. It's 100% about belonging, and in this case, Nina says, "Oh, Momoka, you're my idol. You're my rock. You're my reason for being.
Yeah.
You're going to change? No, I refuse. You're going to change.
Yeah, no, fuck you. Yeah, no, fuck you."
You're going to do
No
what I
change.
want. You're going to be where I want to be.
How dare you? Yeah, how dare you? How dare you? Fucking, change.
And that's why Nina is
bitch.
terrible. Is the best character ever? Oh, you're going to move on and do better things? No, you're going to stay worse and be with me. Nah.
Yeah.
My eternal love for Nina will never end.
God damn.
Also, yeah, this is
Much of the
a
episode
pretty
where
good
I immerse-
recap. I'm not going to say it's...
Yeah, see, my problem here is this man only got 8 minutes, and he's spending a long time on this recap. He's spending a long time. He's yapping a bit. Yeah, it's like half the runtime is like recap. Yeah, and that's bad. You don't do that.
Yeah,
don't do that.
It's a good recap, but I can't see the length right now. But yeah, it
We
is
are like just on the border of halfway.
Oh, that's
Just
bad.
on
That's
what I mean. Like
cut
that's
it.
bad, right?
Don't over-explain the first episode. Talk about the general premise of the whole episode, whole series. Then.
Yeah. I mean, like, if he wanted to do the recap, that would have been fine. But he should have made the video like 15 minutes, right? And then had like, because now he's only got like a few minutes to do his like thing, right? Which is a bit of a problem.
He better talk about. He better say, but all the reasons why this it's not as good.
All right, let's go.
Was really broken because this story otherwise is very well written. I found myself really enjoying it.
So yeah, I know we just pause and unpause, but like my problem I have right now is he's like, well, yeah, it's a failure at portraying thing, right? At doing thing. But he's not actually fucking explaining it. He's just kind of like, yeah, well, I mean, it's well written, and I liked it, and it was okay.
The emotional beats are very
but
good.
It's a yeah, but it's a failure at portraying musicians, and it's like, okay, man, listen, if you are a musician and you are a big musician, man, right? You're big doing the Spotify's or whatever. Maybe you should lean into some. It's the Maname Matt problem. Because you remember Maname Matt, right? He actually did have a fucking degree in like film study and fucking like shit.
You'll never know, but
back in the you'd never know by watching his videos because like oh shit, don't worry about that. But like basically he never leaned into that. Like he never leaned into his experience, right? He never leaned into the thing that he actually has knowledge about. He would just yap about shit that he obviously had no fucking idea what he was talking about.
The
right?
communists
like
hate science, Naretsu.
Yeah, the communists hating science and Stalin banning technology in the Soviet Union, right? Like all this kind of shit. When he should have leaned into, hey, I have a film degree or whatever. Let's like look at this from the perspective of a thing. And like, there's plenty of channels, right, that do this, right? like, you know, one of the things, because I was watching The Pit for quite a while, I finished that up. That was really good. But there's, you know, the guy that's like a surgeon or like a doctor or whatever. He's like, hey, I'm going to watch this and see if it is actually realistic because I actually have experience in the field, right? I actually know what it's like to work in an ER, right?
Yeah,
Wow, this is actually really good, and this is okay. So this is what they're doing, and this is why they're doing it, and that's that drug, and that's what that drug does, and oh, he's performing that maneuver. I've done that before. That's, you know, that's how you do it, right? Like, and that is interesting fucking shit. Like, for someone that is like me, I'm not a doctor. I don't know shit. I don't know fucking shit, right? I don't know shit about nothing, right? But watching someone who has experience and has a actual knowledge of a thing get into the thing that they have knowledge of is actually interesting. But right now, the man's not doing that, right? He's just making a statement that, oh, it's not a realistic band fucking music experience.
But
he hasn't actually explained it.
Bocchi is not really about the career of a musician either. I mean, yeah, they show that they practice every week, but they're always playing in their own club. I mean,
they do their like performances at the band thing. They do the one that's like at the
school, but that's it. I mean, Girls Band Cry is about, you know, they're grinding.
Funny.
They're grinding for the big place.
It's funny because, like, you know, Ladies Modesty is like, no, they have a goal. They're going to perform at they want to perform at like a big concert, right? That's what they want to do. They have a fucking like actual thing they want to do, or at least the drummer girl does, and she's just kind of dragging the rest of them along, right? And then now they're, you know, and then as we'll talk about kind of when we get into maybe anime talk later, you know, the current goal is to, you know, do the Battle of the Bands and to win the Battle of the Bands because Silver-haired girl did a bet and she wants to, you know, do shit, right? So it's kind of like, again, is that a more realistic, you know, view of what it's like to do musician shit, right? Is that what it's like? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I'm a layman. I've never been in. I mean, I played guitar for a bit, but I learned a little bit. But I never played in a band. And I never.
I mean, could he speak to the point where they go towards Nina in the Girl Band Cry show? They go from, oh yeah, where there's a big hesitation. Nina is playing guitar and singing. You know, she's a singing guitar player. But she isn't very good. So the question is, do we allow her to play guitar on stage and drag us down? Or are we going to tell her, you suck, get out of playing guitar?
It's so fucking funny, the parallels with what's happening in Rock Modesty and the keyboardist. Because the keyboardist is having a very similar arc where she's absolutely shit. And like the silver-haired girl is like, you kick her the fuck out, and the Twin Tails girl is like, no, she's trying her hardest. She wants to, you know, be herself. You know, fuck you, bitch, right? And there's like that's like a bit of a conflict in the last two episodes.
Could he speak on that kind of dynamic in a band where there are sometimes these discussions about, do we allow you even to play, or is it worth spending the time to get you into this instrument if you're never going to catch up?
Yeah. So, you know, the guy confuses realism with authenticity and immersion with suspension of disbelief. Yeah, I think Jake's kind of on point there. I think that kind of is the problem. Is he's confusing these different emotions, which is understandable because, again, I think people they don't really, like, they have feelings and vibes, and then they don't necessarily have the right words to connect with those feelings and vibes. So he's feeling in his heart when he's watching Girls Band Cry, he's feeling this is emotionally, you know, charged, right? And that's where what the story seems to be about, the belonging and the emotions and the stuff. But the music part for him is lacking, and he's hyper focused on that music part, right? But let's see. Well, he's got half a video left, so we'll see what happens.
And completely engaged. But the big climax starts with Nina rushing to the train station with the guitar out of its case, dropping it a couple times, carrying it in the rain. She finds those other buskers that they had conflict with, and she screams into the microphone trying to get Momoko to stay. Then there's a musical performance where they sing Momoko's old song all together with the buskers as a band. This makes no sense. There are so many things.
Oh no, the emotional resolution to a conflict makes no sense in real life.
Okay, I want to hear his justification.
Wrong with this scene when it comes to musicianship. The first is that you don't want instruments out in rain.
Oh my god! Oh fuck! He's literally doing the fucking like. Well, actually, you don't wanna. You know, in real life, you can't do magic stuff. So, checkmate, atheist. Checkmate, Christian. Well, actually, in real life, if the instruments get wet, that damages the instruments. You can't do that. That's bad.
Do you know that's in there? I mean, Nina is in front. Are the rest under an overhang?
Fuck me. God, it's so funny. I love it when people do this shit because it's like, yeah, no shit. Like, no, you're not smart. Everyone knows. Okay, okay. Everyone fucking knows. Yeah, no shit. You don't want to have electrical equipment and like fucking Yeah, my phone's gonna go off a couple times because all my reminders are going off. You're not gonna want to have electrical shit out in the rain. You're not gonna want to have a musical equipment out in the rain. But listen, my man, it's a fucking anime. It's a fucking show about girls doing bandy things. It doesn't have to be this serious, okay? It doesn't have to, it doesn't have to be this serious, okay? It's okay for it to be a little bit,
Also,
maybe they sprayed it all with waterproofing before.
Also, I'm sure that at concerts, when it's raining, the rain gets on the instrument. Yeah, you don't want your rain to get the rain on the instrument. Are they going to die the moment you do it?
As soon as like the instrument comes in contact with water, it's immediately ruined. You have to buy a new one. It's done. It's out. The guitar is destroyed. The strings all just disintegrate.
It's all made of paper,
Yeah. Oh man. I'm kind of off topic, but because I was like doing the checkmate atheists thing, I don't know if you've seen any of the Jordan Peterson versus 20 atheists.
No.
Video. I was watching Sitch and Adam cover that, and it reminded me of that because okay, it is really off topic, but it's so funny watching Jordan Peterson just not be able to answer a question for the life of him, because it's because Jordan Peterson does this really annoying thing where it's like, well, you don't understand. Well, you have to understand. You don't know what you mean when you say that you reject God, and that's bad. And then the atheist will go, okay, well, what the fuck do you what do you actually believe? And then he'll be like, well, you see, God is actually consciousness, and it's all part of the fabric of the universe, and and the guy's just like, what the fuck are you talking about, Jordan? Jordan, what the fuck do you mean by this? And he keeps jumping around and not actually explaining what the fuck he means. And but the thing is, I kind of did get what he meant, but he won't just outright just say what he believes. He does this smokescreen shit. It's really fucking annoying. He's not a good debater. He's not a good debater. Well, actually, he is. He's a good debater in the sense that he's able to fucking dodge and
mirage,
like a goddamn mirage.
And...
Yeah, as soon as you try and grab him, he disappears like a fucking smoke. Because he'll just fucking be like, well, we have to define what truth means and what belief means before we can answer that question. It's like, no, Jordan, do you fucking like actually believe in a metaphysical concept of divinity? Like, just fucking
The divine,
answer the
the
question.
divine is what is the good of
what
humanity.
do you mean by the divine? We can't answer this question. It's like, damn it, Jordan. Because I wouldn't have a problem if he was just because his whole thing is like, okay, God is not like, you know, a bearded white man in the clouds, right? Like, it's like, no, it's like a metaphysical, like, consciousness type thing, right? Like the little Jiminy Cricket that like whispers into your ear to get you to, you know, be moral or some shit, right? And I could kind of get where he's going with that a little bit, but because he never fucking like just says that, it's the most annoying thing to watch, right? Because it's like, dude, just fucking say what you mean. But anyway, yeah, I'm getting off topic.
Yeah.
It's just like, please define. Yeah, please define. You have to define what smoke means. Otherwise, you can't get into the metaphysical understanding of what it means to be smoke and fucking Christ. But anywho, I got completely derailed there because of my like atheist thing that I did. But but fucking checkmate, atheists. I win. Haha. There was a funny meme about that I saw. I might link it in the chat after we play the video again because it was great. Because it explains exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, with this realism thing, this is exactly what people on Twitter do, right? They put the little like fucking nerd emoji, and they're just like, well, actually, you can't you know, have instruments in the rain. That is super unrealistic. Okay, you can't do that. Why don't do that? That's bad. Okay, you just come on. My immersion has been broken. It's been broken, guys. I can't. But anyway, yeah. There's your meme.
Yeah.
In the chat. There you go. But anyway, back to the video.
It causes
Oh yeah.
No,
What else is unrealistic? I'll go back in for a little bit so we can get the whole thing. What else is unrealistic? Let's find out.
don't mind me.
But anyway.
I'm doing something.
Are you getting the meme ready? Are you getting
No,
the meme ready?
I'm not.
Play the meme?
I'm doing something else. Don't mind me.
Okay, right. Well, all right. Well, you do that.
The first is that you don't want instruments out in rain. It causes a lot of lasting damage. As soon as it would have started raining, the buskers would try to cover their instruments and get out of it. The second is, why the hell are those buskers choosing to play along with these two girls? Also, improvised music doesn't sound anything like the incredibly rehearsed performance that the show gives.
Jesus Christ, he's such a fucking nerd.
Oh look, a performance in the rain. Oh no.
Oh no. It's ruined. That microphone can never be used again, Ellie.
I guess not.
The piano is completely saturated with water. It's all over. It's all Jova. It's Jova. It's so Jova. Fuck me, dude. I just like, yeah, no, like, it doesn't have to be realistic. Yeah, it doesn't have to be realistic, my man. Who cares? Who actually gives a shit? Who actually gives a shit? I'm sorry, but like, come on, like, if I'm watching, like, I don't know, so like, let's use Dr. Stone, right? Like, yeah, it's probably not like super realistic.
Yeah.
Right? Despite it being like science and stuff, like, I don't really think in real life you would be able to go from, you know, smashing two stones together to fucking like having a goddamn like steamboat, right? in the span of a month, right? I don't really think that's how that works.
No.
Right? But who cares? Who actually gives a shit? It's entertaining. It's fun, right? Literally no fun allowed. Like oh, yeah, the emotional resonance of them playing in the rain and the you know, the theme of the song and, you know, all of this other shit. Like, fuck all of that shit. You know?
What is the alternative narrative? Is they going to give? There are multiple things at play, of course. There's the one narrative. It's are they going to play what they feel they're playing? Say, you know, emotional or what they emotionally feel that they're playing, or Nametsu, they have those character albums the character songs to sell.
Yeah.
Are they going to?
Yeah, we gotta sell that album on Spotify.
We got to sell those OTSs with the Blu-rays and whatnot.
Oh fuck, man.
Whatever.
Just
I'm not gonna.
fucking end me, dude. Like, come on. It's like I'm reacting so negatively to it because it's frustrating when people do this, right? Because there's always that one guy in the group or whatever. Like, there's always that sometimes you'll have a friend group and there's that one guy who's just constantly like, well, actually, actually, it is unrealistic for them to be able to just be able to play the music, right? Oh no, it's good God, dude, calm.
Is it realistic for Bochi to, by herself, maintain the motivation to play guitar for 3 years?
Yeah, is it realistic for her to just so happen to bump into a schoolmate that also does the music? Is it realistic for they just happen to, like, the yellow-haired Dorito girl just so happens to be part of a family that owns a music venue place thing?
Yeah.
Like, is that just like, come on. Anyway.
This hyper unrealistic music video moment. If they had set up Nina to be a good singer, it would have been different when she stepped in and sang really well. But they literally give her a scene during karaoke where she doesn't sing very well. If you know much about music, it's the most contrived situation that makes no sense. It completely broke my immersion and was so corny.
I don't really care.
It's cool though.
I mean, not so. Character song, when there's these character songs, even in music, in big bands, in the band shows, I don't really care for those. I'm not there for them playing music, for the songs. I'm there for the emotional, growth, dynamics, relationship.
This is the big emotional payoff of the current.
I've probably skipped them playing this song. I watched the first 5 seconds and I watched the last 5 seconds because the rest of them doesn't really matter to me. That's not where the emotional payoff is. But them playing is the emotional thing. So can't you just know, oh no, they are, the shonen tournament battle characters are talking to each other during a fight, between two.
Oh no! Solo Leveling is is crying over his mom. My immersion is.
In the half seconds between two punches, they are thinking up an entire dialogue where they explain their power to themselves in their thoughts. Oh
yeah.
I'm going to being very annoyed about this fact.
Oh my god. Okay.
Now, to play devil's advocate, this scene aesthetically was fantastic.
Oh.
The reason they had it raining.
Oh wow, maybe fucking.
Maybe I had the answer all along. Ooh.
Yeah, alright, here we go. Let's hear it.
Is because it matched the tone and emotion of the moment. Because something Girl Band Cry does really well that should be more of a standard in any show about music is have fantastic songs.
What the fuck? So hang on a minute, right? Okay, it was corny and unrealistic and bad, but okay, maybe it has something to do with the emotions, but fuck that. Have fantastic songs. He was like on a road, Ellie. He's like on the road, right? He's driving, right? He's driving, right? And then he's like, oh, look, a squirrel. And then he just like swerves to hit the squirrel and like goes off the road into the field. He's on the grass. He's chasing after the squirrel, right? And then he's like, oh, wow, look, there's a bird. Whoop, time to do it again, right? And he goes back off he went completely off the fucking like rails just then, right?
I just said I'm not there for the songs. In Bochi, in Girls Band Cry, name your thing. I'm not there for the song. I'm there for the characters.
If you were there for the song, you can just fucking listen to the song when they upload the goddamn OST to fucking.
I'm there for the relationship dynamics and for the questions they have when I'll say it again. Especially Girl Band's Cry is like the first where I really saw them struggling with, are we good enough? Are you good enough? What we need to be? What should we do to be good enough? Am I going to tell you that you suck? Are you going to then hate me and leave the band and this will all fall apart? Therefore, I am very resistant to tell you that you suck because my friendships were broken up because of that before.
See, Jake makes a fantastic fucking point. As a Bochi reader, I have no clue what songs they're singing past the anime, but I can make some inference into what they play. Yeah, that's a good point because, like, you're gonna listen to a book, audio book of Bochi the Rock, audio drama. But like, so let's see where he goes. Let's see what's he gonna say about the songs. Here we go.
What's interesting about immersion and whether or not a story feels realistic is ultimately that's determined by the audience. For example,
no shit. no shit. That's what we've been saying the whole time. It's like, it's literally a skill issue. Literally a you problem, mate. Literally. Okay.
For example, I showed my roommate the pilot yesterday, and he had no issue with immersion until I pointed out all the things that seemed so unreal.
Oh, so he had no issue with it. He had no issue with it until you came in and were like, well, actually, and then you ruined the whole fucking thing for him, you fucking asshole.
I'm going to point out every flaw in Star Wars for all its unrealistic sci-fi depictions. Oh,
yeah. Like, a funny example of this is like, the famous because you bring up Star Wars, right? The fucking like hyperspace fucking thing that like, it looks great, but it does fuck with the lore and the immersion and raises a whole bunch of fucking questions about why didn't they just do this to begin with? Like, what was even the point of like Death Star? Go into the Death Star, you just shoot a fucking battleship through it in hyperspace, right? Blow the whole fucking thing up, right? Like, those kind of things, right? It's kind of like, that is definitely something that I think could, like, there's a difference between being able to criticize stuff like that and doing a, well, actually, like, I feel like his problem is, like, he has his personal thing, right? And I'm not gonna, like, say that his feelings are not valid, right? Because his feelings are valid. They're his feelings. But it's when he's like doing this type of shit where it's like,
other people need to feel the same pain that I feel.
I'm gonna sit my friend down and then have him watch it and then have his friend go, well, actually, I thought that was pretty cool, like the emotional. He's like, no, you have to know about the instruments in the rain is bad, okay?
So Naretsu, I'm going to say,
get it. Fiction is not allowed. No fun allowed. Yeah.
Although Naretsu, I'm going to be maybe even hypocritical. Naretsu.
Oh no.
Remember Going Dutch?
Oh yes.
I have so many problems with that, and Naretsu, I will tell everybody all the problems with that, whether you want to or not, because I feel it's offensive to me.
So, I'm just kind of like, I feel like the problem here is just like, let people enjoy things, okay? let people enjoy things. It's okay if you're gonna be, critical of it, or if you've got your own angle and whatever. But at the end of the day, if someone wants to enjoy slop, let them enjoy this.
Yeah.
Not saying that Girls Band Cry is slop, but you get what I mean.
No, right? I mean, I feel like Naretsu.
Just imagine this guy going all CinemaSins on his roomie, and his mate's like, damn, and my enjoyment disappeared. You watch the soul leave his body in real time.
Well, he sucked the soul out of him because of it.
Yeah,
no, I'm going to justify my hypocrisy by this. I feel that in Going Dutch, they kind of pretend that they are showing Dutch culture and then make fun of it while it's not even really Dutch culture at all.
Yeah, they create the straw man just to burn it, right?
And while in Girls Band Cry, they're being unrealistic, but they are doing it for this emotional payoff, and I can accept.
Yeah, they're sacrificing this. They're making a deliberate creative decision, right?
Instead of
they're
just
making a deliberate creative decision to sacrifice the realism for the moment, right? Which I think is fine. I don't really see if it's a creative decision like that, right? But anywho, let's keep going.
Realistic to me. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if a lot of you saw my criticisms as very nitpicky.
Yes! That's because they are, my man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You have the nerd emoji on your head, mate. I'm sorry. That's just we don't make the rules, but anyway.
Which is kind of the point. I think
it's kind of the point. The fuck? Okay. I gotta let him
Yeah, more than one sentence.
story
Yeah.
ultimately feel realistic and consistent, but that's determined by your target audience when making any piece of media. So it's okay that Girl Band Cry does things that break my immersion, because most likely the people they're trying to appeal to.
Hey, wait a sec. Wait. Naretsu, can you go back like 10 seconds?
Okay, hang on.
And listen to the words, immersion, realistic, all that stuff he says.
Alright, let's go.
I wouldn't be shocked if a lot of you saw my criticisms as very nitpicky, which is kind of the point. I think stories should ultimately feel realistic and consistent, but that's...
Oh, no!
Consistent and realistic, alright?
Yeah.
determined by your target audience when making any piece of media. So it's okay that Girl Band Cry does things that break my immersion.
It breaks my immersion.
The people they're trying to appeal to the most.
So Naretsu is indeed saying, it's Girl Band Cry isn't realistic and it blah blah blah. It breaks my immersion.
Yeah, he fucked up. He made the mistake I outlined at the beginning of the video. He's conflating the two things, right? He's conflating it. It's like, God damn it, bro. Damn, I hate this. I have disagreement, but I am not gonna let you ruin your enjoyment. Yeah. Oh man, there's no imagination. It's just like I get it, right? I get that he's, watching the show from the perspective of him actually having the experience, right? And he's, he's getting, he's seeing all of the problems that, would, justifiable, right? But at the same time, no one likes a fucking nitpick. No one likes an actually person. No one likes that person.
So I remember some, doctor reacts to cells at work thing.
Oh yeah. I think it's probably the same guy that I was watching that was doing.
I remember, and it was about the first episode. It was like, this streptococcus inside the red blood cell. I never heard of that. That doesn't sound right. Platelets moving calcium. That's odd. But they leave it at that, It's not, this show is ruined because the platelets are doing something with the calcium. They're not supposed to do that. The red blood cell and the white blood cell have different lifespans in the blood. So they're probably, this one will die tomorrow. The white blood cell, the neutrophil, kills bacteria by eating it and then dying with the bacteria, because the white blood cell is fighting the streptococcus, it should eat the streptococcus and then die and never be appearing in the show again. I'm going to hate this show now.
Damn, Naretsu, how can you enjoy My Hero Academia? Teenage superheroes unrealistic. Actually, being able to, shoot webs out of your wrists is not realistic.
Actually, My Hero Academia is not really about teenage superheroes. Actually, if you look at the themes in the background of the show, they're actually child soldiers, and they are very realistic.
Oh fuck! All right. Well, anyway, we're getting there.
Doesn't have that issue. But sometimes shows do both, satisfying the people who are familiar with whatever the topic of the show is and people who are less familiar. Maintaining an air of realism that doesn't get in the way of the emotional beats or progression of the story, which brings us back to...
Oh, so your immersion level was higher, therefore you were overlooking the realism issues with Bocchi, The Rock, and therefore you're...
Yeah.
They're generalizing and over,
Look, there's absolutely nothing wrong with Bocchi, interacting with a drunk random chick on the street. Totally realistic, right? Oh man, but anyway, he's got like 2 minutes. He's got 2 minutes to talk about Bocchi, so let's see what he has to say about Bocchi.
Something that really frustrates me is when people generalize music as nothing more than innate skill. I guarantee that everyone you've met in life that's good at singing or playing instruments has done a lot of it. I do believe people can have other skills that help them learn faster or temperaments that incline them to dedicate so much time and energy to becoming a musician. But being great at an instrument requires tons of time in, and it doesn't stop there.
No,
sometimes people who've put in
I mean, that's just art in general.
No, sorry. He said, I believe he just said, being good at an instrument requires a bunch of time and then he went to the next sentence.
Oh.
Small editing. I didn't hear efforts.
We can find
we can nitpick.
We can nitpick real quick.
Time and energy to becoming a musician, but being great at an instrument requires tons of time in, and it doesn't stop there.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, he did fuck up there. Yeah, time and what? We'll never know. My immersion's been broken in the video. My immersion's been broken. But getting to his point though, like actually taking his point, as you talked about, like my point is this is just all art, right? This is just all art in general, right? It's the same with drawing. Like the reason I'm not really great, like I mean, I do art, but I'm not great at it, and I don't really post about it, and I do like the exhibition stuff and whatnot, but like I don't consider myself that great because I'm not actually putting in a lot of time into it. Because I've been too busy doing other shit, or I've been too stressed out, or I've not been able to like actually sit down and like draw shit, right? But if I did was more consistent in drawing every day and putting in the reps, right, putting in the work, then yeah, I would probably end up being a lot more skilled, and I recognize that. But it's just, so that's it's the same for everything. Every skill is like this, right? Every single thing you do is like this. So I don't see musician, music stuff, and I can get the idea that there are a lot of people out there who just think, it's all just innate talent, right? They see other artists out there who are like younger than them or whatever, and it feels like they're just like 20 steps ahead, right? And are able to just do things like right off the bat. But I think part of the problem is, and this is something that I feel like should be addressed, most people don't give a fuck how the sausage is made. They just care about the sausage being tasty, right?
Yeah.
Most people don't actually, they don't see the artist, spending, hours and hours and hours practicing and doing, boring torsos and gesture and doing all of this kind of study stuff, analyzing different photographs to determine poses or lighting or all this kind of shit, right? Reading books about that kind of shit, right? They don't see that, right? They don't see that when they go on Twitter and they see a big juicy anime girl and just retweet it, right? Right? They don't see what's happening in the background, right? They just see artwork and then they see things, right? They don't see the work that actually goes into it.
I know sometimes there's a live stream of an artist drawing, and there are two things that you can that I see watching those. One, they draw the same line 5 times before they're draw a line out, delete. The line deletes, line deletes, line deletes, line, alright, delete half of it, line deletes, line deletes, line, now it's there, they got one line. And the second is, they know where to draw that one line, because it looks good at that one place. So yeah, first of all, it's slow. It's kind of slow, tedious, but good artists will just know where to draw the line to make it good, even if they have to draw that line five
muscle
times.
memory. There's muscle memory, and there's like there's all kinds of shit involved, right? But that's kind of what I mean. It's like people don't like even watching like a stream of an artist like doing a work, right? Like you can get some glimpses into it, but like you're not like, a lot of the time when people are doing those kinds of streams, they're not like doing the practice stuff a lot.
No.
Like they because they want to show off like actually doing the fun stuff, right? But one of the things I have to like, because I work with people in the support work stuff, right? One of the things I have to always tell the people I work with, right, is like you got to do the boring shit before you can do the fun shit. And that's something a lot of people have problems with, is because they don't want to do the boring shit, right? They don't want to do.
Yeah.
They just want to jump straight. They want to jump straight to doing the fun, like, oh yeah, I want to draw a hot anime girl, right? But they don't want to put in the actual effort to, really like understand how to draw the sexy anime girl, right? And then go from there. So
also, I just wanted to mention, right? Not too long ago, I trained up a new employee, a new coworker.
Jake's like, I've coasted off doing fun shit for you.
And the fun thing of it is, when you're training a coworker, you can look at yourself and see that coworker struggling, sweating, just being buried under the things that you do out, on a whim. Like, oh, it's time to do this test, to do this thing. La la la, juggling, I'm whistling, I'm watching a YouTube channel with my phone and doing the whole thing with one hand, and it's done. And then I see my new fresh coworker do it, and he's struggling, he's sweating, he's looking it up for the 5th time, he's making a mistake and has to do it all over again. And then you learn, oh, I am trained, I have the skills.
Yeah, and I'm the man.
And it's also fun to go look from, oh, that guy has no talent for this. I can see that has the wrong posture, has the wrong attitude.
File your taxes, they won't let you practice it.
Yeah. Now it's there is a thing called talent, but it's slightly more like attitude and affinities, because
it's kind of like what this guy's talking about, right?
It's
like certain people have different motivational levels and abilities, and that kind
there
of
are
stuff.
people. I mean, my work is very one sheet of one layer picking out with micron thickness and 1.00 different differentials and whatnot. 0.001 differentials. If you don't have the temperament to deal with small, actual nitpicky details, don't do the stuff that I do.
Yeah.
But if you do, you can do it.
You'll be great. Yeah. It'll be great. It'll be fun. But anyway, let's continue.
Sometimes people who've put in tons of work to learning an instrument still struggle to implement all that information into playing together in a band. Playing as part of an ensemble and performance are very much their own skills, and Bocchi the Rock demonstrates all 3 of these lessons really well. The main character is really good at guitar because she spent the last couple years doing nothing but practicing at home. She's leaning on musicianship as a solution to her overwhelming anxiety. Her entire character arc is about pushing herself outside of her comfort zone because she's overwhelmed easily, and the story exaggerates those feelings in fun, gimmicky ways. Art is a lie that tells the truth. It doesn't need to be completely realistic. It needs to feel realistic. And people who've dealt with pretty severe anxiety know how exaggerated those feelings can be. So in that department, the show acts with a pretty heavy hand. But when it comes to musicianship, it's very aware. The band Bocchi joins faces multiple challenges throughout the first season. They accurately demonstrate what it's like to be freaking out on stage, working through your performance anxiety, and trying to lean on your muscle memory. Each member of the band feeling stiff and unnatural, doing their best to work cohesively together and coming up short. I also think Bocchi the Rock's target audience isn't musicians. But to me, all the emotional beats and major moments in the story are enhanced by the musicianship rather than hamstrung. Both Bocchi the Rock and Girl Band Cry capture this innate feeling of loving music, and I think there's good reason why both of them are popular. But when it comes to musicianship and realism, I think Bocchi the Rock is so much better. What do you think? I might be
Okay. Okay.
Oh, it's already over. That's a very abrupt end.
Yeah, we're done. We're done, boys. It's over. When female protagonists went from good to great, Ellie, there you go.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, that video was kind of just like I don't like how he doesn't really have like kind of a cohesive through line there. Like it's just kind of like, oh yeah, they're both doing things, but Bocchi's better because my immersion, you know. I got to relate to it more, right? You know, because maybe, you know, different things. It's kind of sad because it means I don't really have much to say that I haven't already said, you know. Like I feel like the conflation between realism and immersion, mixing those kind of words together really does muddy the waters a little bit as to what you're talking about, because there's definitely stuff in Bocchi where you can look at it and you can go, oh, this isn't realistic, this is contrived, right? This is a convenience, right, for the plot, right? And it's the same with, you know, Girls Band Cry. And I think when you get like really into the weeds of, oh god, the instruments are gonna get wet, oh no, that's bad, right? I feel like while I think his feelings are valid, right, you're almost like ruining it for yourself, right? Your actually is ruining it your own experience, right? And I think that while you can recognize, yeah, that's a thing, you should also be able to kind of put that away and kind of see the bigger picture of what the show is trying to kind of convey in its messaging, right, and what it's trying to say. But that's my hot take, and I don't really have much else to add, really, sadly.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sneakily looking something up, Naretsu.
Oh no!
And that is the fact.
no.
That is the fact that I cannot see a single thing about the author of Bocchi the Rock. I can't find if the artist ever played in a band.
Oh no!
I cannot see.
Oh no!
Not on the Japanese Wikipedia, at least, and it would be like, I think the first place that would
maybe. Oh no! What am I gonna do? But anyway, I guess if you don't have anything else to,
no, it's
really.
All right. So I'll keeping on the theme of me being the Girls Band Cry stan. Yeah, Girls Band Cry is about career, being a career musician. What do you have to do to be a career musician? The conversations that with the band that you have with that, the different goals from. Well, no, actually, I was kind of here more for the fun, and the other person is like, oh, I was going to quit, but now I'm not quitting, so I have to deal with that. And the other is like, I have another career lined up, so I actually want to do that. And oh, I'm here for the big league from the beginning. And all these different motivations have to coexist in the same thing band, and that is the real. No, that's the big conversation, the group conversation. But you know, individually, they all have their big traumas, as you do. Well, of course, we follow Nina, who's very big into some weird anxiety entitlement. That's her big thing, and it's very funny. And she's the best character because she's the worst.
Yeah.
And oh yeah, I know now. Only now I remember what those spikes were. It's her sense of entitled justice. I am right is the aura that she always gives off. I am right, you are wrong, I am the right one. Yeah, and yeah, it's about that. Girls Band Cry is about that journey, and Bocchi the Rock is about not being as anxiety ridden anymore. And yeah, and I don't really feel that the Bocchi the Rock focuses on music. Actually, it's the anime that, you know, has the benefit of having sound, that allows it to play music and neat music even. But it's the girl band Cry that's about career musicianship. Oh yeah, they leave their music stuff out in the rain sometimes. All right, cool. Don't care.
Oh no! Oh no! So anywho, I guess we'll talk about animus.
Yeah.
Blitz through some animus. Oh, excuse me. How much drink do I have left? Oh, I got a little bit. So what are we doing first? What's our first page?
I'm pressing this button. I'm pressing
pressing a button. Pressing a button. All right. Oh, good. We can go straight into,
the music.
Fucking... Yeah. So the TLDR for like the last like 2 or so. Well, actually, probably 1 episode because the new episode comes out literally today. So I technically only have 1 episode. There's conflict between, as I mentioned kind of before when we were talking about it. The conflict is between blue-haired girl who has the heart. She's on her journey of self-discovery. She wants to be her true self. You know, she's using rock music because she's you know so and so. And then the silver-haired girl who's like, bitch, you fucking suck. Get the fuck out. We're not here for your dumb spiritual journey bullshit. Like, literally says this, right? Not here for your dumb spiritual. Like, we got to be serious about this, right? And this obviously leads to the conflict. You know, a conflict triangle between these 3 characters, and then you have the drummer girl who's just like, this is great. I'm just gonna. I'm just gonna say, I mean, she does help. She does help because what they end up doing is they like simplify the song so it's easier for our blue-haired girl to play because she's gotten better. She's getting there, right? The waifu is getting there. She's getting better, but she's still got a long way to go. But the girl's like, oh yeah, we'll just simplify her parts of the keyboarding and make it, remove the unnecessary notes, make it easier. She'll be fine, right? It'll be okay, right? And so now, like, the TLDR is now they're at the Battle of the Bands. They're in the dressing room, and there is a really funny gag with my blue-haired waifu because she's like, because I remember mentioning she's stacked,
yes,
right? But she hides her breasts. So the way that she's disguising herself is she just wears like this T-shirt that's like one size too small because it's it's a borrowed T-shirt from the twin-tailed girl, and so her rack is just fucking hanging. It's just fucking emphasized, and she's like, I'm embarrassed. This is embarrassing. And the twin-tails are like, no, you listen to me. We can't have you getting recognized because if you get recognized, I'm gonna get recognized, and if I get recognized, my life is over because your mom's like a fucking psychopath.
Oh yeah.
Her mom is like fucking insane. Like there's like a flashback scene where like the mom is like has cut the strings on the guitar and is like, you don't need rock anymore, do you, honey? Like I want this mom. Here's my fan fiction. What I want to happen in the story is like the husband guy like finds out, right? Like they all find out eventually or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the mom is like freaking out, but the husband guy is like, "Wow, this is cool,"
and doesn't care.
Doesn't give a shit.
The head of family gives approval. Now the wife has to deal with that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we don't know like the full context. Maybe something went on, like something happened, right? It's probably going to get expanded upon later, right? Maybe, who knows? We'll find out, right? But I think the funny one would be like the husband's like, man, you really are a psychopath, bitch. Fuck you. I'll keep the daughter, but you can get the fuck out. right, something like that. But yeah, it was quite a funny gag with the blue-haired girl's rack because the enemy band shows up and the enemy band is like, wow, what? I think, wait, and they're like analyzing the blue-haired girl, and the twin-tails is like, shit, do they recognize her because she's like a model and her billboards are everywhere? Shit. But it's like, holy shit, your boobs are huge. Can I touch them? Can I touch them?
Are they real?
Are they real? Yeah. They're natural? What the fuck? It's fucking great. But then obviously the lady comes in and is like, okay, you guys got to get ready. It's time for the show, right? Yeah, we got to get to it. And our twin tail is basically like, I'm going to show them all that I'm the real big queen bee here. I'm the cool one. I'm going to fuck the silver-haired girl. I don't give a shit about her. I'm going to surpass all of them. Fuck you, right? And so, it's good. I like it. I Another gag that I'll bring up before we kind of move on is the gag with the blue-haired girl's got that little doll, and she like starts talking through the doll whenever she gets like super stressed. So she's talking through the doll, and then the silver-haired girl just grabs the doll and starts squeezing it, and the blue-haired girl's like, "No, Mr. I don't know what the name of the doll is, but I was like, Mr. Bubbles, no! Why are you so mean?"
I mean, if they touch it, if people are touching my doll, I'll be pissed.
Yeah, you're gonna get fucking yeah. But like, no, it's good. I like the show. Again, I'm hoping to see some good shit this episode because obviously all the performances are gonna happen. So I'm hoping we're gonna get some pretty good, animation and storytelling.
Oh, Jake is quoting the author of Bocchi the Rock. So all the knowledge is about, I guess. Just watching bands, not playing in bands.
Oh, that's funny.
Anyway, it's enough about Bocchi.
Yeah, that's actually kind of funny. But yeah, no. So yeah. Rock is Ladies Modesty. I feel like it's a pretty decent, serviceable show. I think it's really good. Yeah, it's fine. Anyway, what do you got for us, Elliot?
Alright, so Witch Watch, our funny comedy show.
The watching of the witches. Yes, we are watching witches.
By witch watching. So, 2 episodes, all just the 2 funniest bits of the 2 episodes is they're starting a YouTube channel. Nico and Khan, the witch and the Tengu, are starting a YouTube show, and they're absolutely terrible. Naretsu, they're getting the same amount of views as we do. So they're starting a view. They're doing unboxing videos that don't go anywhere. They're doing gameplay footage with a camera behind them, watching, pointing towards the screen. They're doing a DSP basically, and in unboxing and gameplay recording alike.
Yeah, they're playing that YouTube game. Yeah.
They're playing the YouTube game, so then they're going to a friend that has far more professional YouTube setup, but he's actually terrible at talking. He just talks in circles. Doesn't sound familiar at all. Don't worry about it. So with their with their powers combined, Naretsu, they actually make a fairly successful YouTube channel with a couple of thousand views per episode. How many views real quick? Oh, at least 1,000 views. Good enough for a starting channel. But Naretsu, eventually they get bored and just stop. As you do, as it happens. That's episode 1. The next episode, Naretsu, the Tengu is ordered to earn some money to be able to stay in the house that they're at.
Gotta pay that rent.
Pay that rent. So he takes up a super tedious job and says, "This tediousness is killing me. I hate this. Hey Nico, can you speed me up?" Nico, the witch, and says, "Yeah, I can. From a half up speed to 10 times speed." And he goes, "I want 10 times speed. Alright. Warning, I can't undo it. You can't attack anybody, and you might suffer a mental breakdown." He says, "Alright, those were just normie warnings. I can handle it." Naretsu, it turns out if you're 10 times speed up, you can't talk to people anymore. You can't understand them. They're speaking 10 times slower. You can't understand theirs. He's speaking 10 times faster, so they can talk back. Naretsu, he has to eat 10 times as often because he's just he's living a 10 times speed up world. So he eats 10 times as fast his entire life. And Naretsu, he suffers a mental breakdown right then. Also, the time limit when it's lifted is 3 days. But he's speed up 10 times, so it's a full month. And Naretsu, it's very funny. He becomes so sad. He's so sad.
Oh no! Oh no!
He's living in the same house, but he can't. The emotional disconnect, the sudden cutoff. Naretsu, I would imagine it would be like if somebody was suddenly deaf. Naretsu, your family member is suddenly deaf.
Oh no!
Suddenly you can't communicate anymore. That other person is living in another world, in another reality. You can't interact with that person anymore, and the emotional isolation that suddenly happens, tragic, super tragic. You will get depressed from it. It's hilarious here.
Good stuff.
And funny jokes all around, good stuff. And he suffers a mental breakdown like 5 times. Wow. Hilarious.
So, since Drax brought up the robot show, we might as well talk about that.
Tragic news. I haven't been watching it. It's unfortunately gone on too slow.
I thought the last couple of episodes were pretty good because basically what the TLDR is obviously the lolly girl steals.
Yeah, the
body. But the problem is, while she's up in the attic testing it out, the leg falls off.
Oh.
Because obviously the leg keeps falling off, right? And so she's like, shit, how am I going to solve this problem? And so she jumps. The last episode was really funny, I'm not going to lie. Because she like jumps down and she like holds our nerd boy hostage. But, like holding a knife to his throat. It's like, you're going to fix me or I'm going to kill him. But then our girl, she comes up with this like great because she remembers there was that episode where when he was putting the leg in, she was like basically fucking getting turned on, right? As he was putting the leg in. So she's like, okay, I'm gonna walk you through how to put the leg back on, right? And as they're walking through how to put the leg back on, she's deliberately hitting the spots and getting him to do the stuff, right? That made her get turned on. And this is causing the lolly girl, because the lolly girl apparently is like lower processing power because she's a lolly, right? And she starts fucking blue screening. She starts fucking like getting immensely fucking like overstimulated, and just like she just pops her, but the head just pops off. She's just like, no, I'm done. I'm off. I'm out. And then our girl just pops her head off, and they swap the heads back around. And so, and this is great because the landlady, while this is happening, the landlady like hears all of this and starts coming up the stairs. And while Marketer's head is still like popped off the body, they jump into the attic. But as they're going up, it's like from the opening.
Yeah, the opening
gag. That happens, and the landlord lady faints and lands on Shotokan. And while this happens, the goddamn friend the Fujoshi friend shows up, and she's got like a prostate massager knuckle duster that she's gonna use on him. And she shows up, and she sees like the Shotokan, the landlady has landed on Shotokan, and then she freaks the fuck out and like bashes her head on the goddamn railing. And then when this happens, then when the landlady wakes up, and the other girl wakes up, they both freak out because she's like, "There's ghosts! There's ghosts in the house." But yeah, no, this was good. It was good. It was pretty good. I do really like the show. I actually really like it. I find it quite funny. I understand your criticism of it, like being a little bit slow, pacing wise. Like it's, you know, things are definitely happening at a bit of a slow pace, but I don't really mind that so much. I actually think it's fine. I've been enjoying the gags. You know, it's quite funny. So I had a tweet actually recently, because someone was like tweeting about how, you know, ecchi fans don't even interact with ecchi anymore, right? And that tweet got like a bunch of responses. They were like, "Oh, but there's nothing coming out. There's just nothing coming out." And I'm like, well, like fucking literally like 3 of the free shows on screen right now.
Yeah.
Ecchi shows. And I mean, to be fair, right? Like, yeah, we're not seeing a lot of like long form ecchi stuff, like full 20-minute, episode stuff. But I don't know. I feel like a problem that people have is that, and I was kind of stuck in this mindset too for a while, where it's like you kind of feel like, oh, there's nothing coming out, so I'm just not going to even bother looking, right?
Mhm.
You get complacent and you get lazy, and that's how you like miss shit, right? And you also miss shit because you're waiting for shit to come out uncensored, and then you forget about it, and then you don't come back to it for like fucking months, right?
Yeah.
I think there was that one isekai one where the guy buys a slave, like the dog girl. That's
Mhm.
like an ecchi. Like he like buys the dog girl as a slave. I've had that one on my watch list for a while, but because I wanted to wait for it to come out uncensored, right? I kind of fucking like just haven't gotten around to it, right? So that also happens, right? And then that gives you like the false perception, right, that none of this is happening, right? So you can't, yeah. Like the uncensored versions can sometimes take a while because you're waiting for the Blu-ray releases and stuff, right? So it's kind of like you have to like, try and like come back to them, but then by that point you're already watching like new seasonal stuff, or you're watching other stuff, or you're too busy, and then shit just gets left behind, right? And that gives you the false perception, right? I think it's a perception problem. It gives you the false perception that nothing's coming out, there's no new ecchi's a dead genre, so and so. And while I can kind of agree with that from the perspective of like we're not seeing love like to love ruse, right?
Yeah.
Or long form shit. Every now and then, you get a gushing over magical girls, or you get like these kind of short shows that are coming out. That
Well,
are,
I would
kind of.
I mean, if we can transition into my show, I mean, please put them on Haite Kudasai, Takamiya-sama.
Yeah. We'll talk about that.
Takamiya-san is the characters are frequently shown naked in eye catches, pin-up, scrolls or whatnot.
That was one before you move on. One of the responses to that tweet I got was someone who was like, censored, only like 5 minutes of shit, censored. And I'm like, bro, if you're watching these shows censored, that's a fucking you problem. Because I'm watching like these shows and I'm seeing nipples, right? You just gotta not get the Crunchyroll releases like a dumb fuck.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll let you go.
All right. So the big thing, or there are 3 episodes, or I mean, no, 2 episodes, even still. It's like
I don't know.
Nah, whatever.
Whatever. Yeah.
Anyway, Naretsu, there's another girl entering the picture.
Oh no!
Like.
Oh no, rival! Oh boy, here we go.
This Ellie girl with a I forgot her exact name. Like Ellie Blauwood or Ellie Evergreen. Very British English name. So anyway, she's model, blah blah blah, pretty, big breast, nice thighs, etc. Her thing, Naretsu, is that she's kind of semi-oblivious to her own charms. In that. The explanation is that she's went to an all-girls school her entire life, so she's just, oh yeah, I'll just lift up my sweater and show a bit of my breast. Oh sorry, oh I didn't realize that.
Who cares? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't have a bra on now because it doesn't really fit with this shirt. But oh no, you can kind of see her nipples. And like, oh, who cares about that? It's kind of her. She forgets that she has nipples in that sense. And just hugging and hugging and whatnot is all fine and dandy for her. So, while she's reminiscing with her main character about her, their shared time at the playground, our president shows up, and she kind of gets the wrong idea because they are. The Ellie and our protagonists are contemplating playing with water balloons, Naretsu.
Ooh.
So our Ellie has a water balloon, an empty water balloon in her hand. And do you know how they look, Naretsu? Rubber, kind of cylindrical,
Uh-oh.
colored purple.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
And so the thing is like, hey, do you want to join? We're going to play. We're going to play around.
Yeah.
It's like, really? Are you really? And like, yes,
Are you really
it's
gonna do that?
I mean, it's kind of embarrassing, but why not?
Fucking hell.
Brackets, playing with water balloon at our age is embarrassing.
Yeah. Big misunderstandings, big old boy.
And then it's like, then our president gets convinced because they're like, oh yeah, so do you really want to do it? Yeah, I guess. I mean, why not? It's been a while. Like, all right, I'm going to join, and I'll blah blah blah. Like, yay! I'll get you two dripping wet. All funny jokes but Noretsu, the funny thing is that she kind of has a understanding that President likes her protagonist.
Right.
So she does the tactical thing of, hey, can you grab us a drink and whatnot? And then she's talking with the president like, oh, sorry, I'm very friendly with everybody, etc., blah blah. And it kind of goes into the next episode where our president is still very jealous about them being so close. And then Ellie super confronts the president, says, oh no, I see that you like him, and I see that you're thinking that I'm getting him, but don't worry, I'm not into him at all. And the president is being put in the position to, yeah, no, I am not bothered at all. But I really want that. And it turns out, Noretsu, Ellie is super gay. So don't even bother with her. Oh yeah, oh no, she shows her breast to a boy, whatnot. Zero romantic sexual attraction at all. So the rest of the second episode is them getting on somewhat even ground and her venting her insecurities by getting a little bit of attention from him again and whatnot. It's all fun and games. It's all good.
Sounds good. So Dark Elf show then.
Mm-hmm.
It's going all right. It is kind of interesting how it's transitioned into more of a short form show right now. Because the chibi stuff, but which I'm not watching. But yeah, so the last couple of episodes have been alright. It's mostly been the last one that I watched was they went to Comiket, which is quite fun. Because it turns out that the blonde-haired, short-haired girl is like a manga artist, and she does doujinshis, and she like based a character off our elf girl, and so the elf girl cosplayed the character that's based off her. And then they go to the Comic. I'm trying to remember what the other one was. Was that the parenting one? I can't remember. I can't even remember what the fucking. There's a gap in the fucking memory of the show of what the show was. But it's all right. It's just chugging along nicely. It's got some fun gags. I do feel like it is a bit. I don't want to say stale, right? But I feel like it's kind of getting to the point where it's like, okay, we've done the bit enough times now, right? And the bit's kind of starting to run its course a little bit on the old elf show. It's still fun. It's still got good fan service. It's still got funny gags with Shotokun and the yandere elf. But there's only so many times you can do the same gag. It's the same thing that happened with the cat fucker show, right? There's only so many times you can do the same gag. Oh look, it's a bathhouse. Oh look, it's a hot spring. Oh look, everyone's gonna go to the fucking author's got a goddamn bath fetish, right?
They're going to the beach. They're going to the.
they have to get naked and go swim in the
to cross the river.
Yeah, but I feel like that's the problem. Like the reason Makina-chan, right, doesn't have that problem is all of the gags are different. right? Like, sure, they'll involve like the robot thing, but like going like having the gag be, oh, the heads have been the body's been stolen. Now she's like a lolly, and it's like affecting her like programming and stuff, right? Oh, she's like, we'll have the setup of the previous episode. She gets turned on when he's mucking around with her leg, right? And internals and hitting buttons and messing around trying to get the leg back on. Oh, that leads into the gag of the lolly girl having a blue screen, right? Like, and it kind of like, sure, like all the gags are themed kind of around them being sex robots,
Yeah.
or like androids in general, but they're different gags. Whereas with like the Catfucker show and the Dark Elf show, the problem I'm having is, yes, they're all kind of centered around her being a yandere, but it literally is always the same punchline. It's literally always, oh, she wants the Shotokan, she's groping the Shotokan, she's showing her breasts to the Shotokan, she's, you know, getting all up and about ready to rape him, right? But then, oh no, something interrupts, or oh no, something happens, or oh boy, he runs away, or oh no. And I feel like that's kind of why it feels a lot more stale, is that it's might be different setups, but it's always the same punchline, right? If that makes sense. So yeah, but it's serviceable. It's okay. It's fine. But that's all I've really got to say on it, really. I might grab a drink actually real quick, so I'll be right back. You can start talking about your ninjas.
Yeah, the ninjas. So in the there is a kind of, I can't say a theme because it's kind of, you know, switching around what's funny at the moment or what's going on. So in the first episode of the two, we are getting introduced to a new character. Well, we're kind of a couple of things happen. First off, our girl is spending all her money on a gacha game that is right when she spent her 30th million on the game, on her gacha game. The game's closing down.
Oh no!
And Naretsu, she doesn't even like the game, but she liked having the guild and the ranking and whatnot. So, you want validation? Why just make a social media account? Assassin Girl says.
Okay.
So she makes a social media account, and, you know, oh yeah, post your cooking on it or whatever. You know, with a bit of advice, she's all set out to do some social media. Meanwhile, the friend of the assassin girl, whose father was killed by our assassin girl, is meeting up with her again, and they're bringing a friend along who did very well on the study. And they're talking about their future, and Assassin Girl is like, all right, is my future, you know, internally, I can see it, is all about from, hey, do I want to be assassin all the time? Or do I have an actual future for this? While the smart girl is like, oh, you'll be a doctor or whatnot. Also, yeah, the girl whose father was assassinated, her mother is also dead already. And she goes, my parents are dead. I'm all alone. I don't have enough money to go to college. So there's a slight consequence to all the assassinations being introduced. Meanwhile, back home, our ninja girl is posting cooking in cosplay. Because she did cooking cosplay because that got more attention, because just posting while she was posting just her cooking, her reflection was in the window, and she got a compliment, but she was cute. Therefore, she posted more of herself with her in cosplay. But in Naretsu, there's competition. There are bitches with huge tits that do terrible cooking and get all the attention, while she gets just shit on for her dishes being not nutritious when you can't even see that the contents of the dish on a photo. So what do they know about it?
It's good YouTube fucking yeah. It's typical YouTube, yeah.
And then she goes, alright, so I'll just post pictures in my bikini. So Assassin Girl walks into Ninja Girl wearing a bikini and posting, making selfies of herself. And then the question is, hey, do we even have fun with this? No, it's not fun. So she gets instead, alright, enough of the social media engagement. Take some pictures with a camera. And then, alright, I'll just make a camera, blah blah blah. And Retsu turns out all the cooking that Ninja Girl does, she actually hates it. She doesn't do it because she likes it. She does it because it's the only thing she was allowed to do. So she doesn't even really like cooking. Funny joke. Right. All that to go on, Retsu. There's a new assignment, Retsu. Kill the friends that a girl has who did a good test. Kill the one remaining friend, the human connection that she has, because she did well on a test, and we can't have that. My son has to be the best.
Right.
So it is implied that our assassin girl didn't take on this request because in an next scene, we can see that her ranking dropped, which we have to assume that somebody else rose up. And then our tragic girl who lost her parents and our friend is passing out missing person signs to a crowd, and our ninja and assassin help out, even though knowing that she's 100% killed. Suddenly, Naretsu, big tragic. Big tragic tragedy. Next up, Naretsu, next episode, turns fire. Their place is burned down. Turns out, Naretsu, it's done by a ninja. But how did this ninja know that they are living there? Turns out, Naretsu, that the ninja that was the big tits bitch that did the cooking videos is the ninja that did. But how did they know where they live? Turns out, Naretsu, that our ninja girl says, "Are you even satisfied with this cheap shit that you're doing? You're wasting your life." And she got a response that said, "I'll find your house and kill you." And then the big titty cooking girl went to their house and burned it down. So she's killed. She shows up again and she's killed. Another character design dead. They move into a haunted house. They deal with being at a haunted house. Very funny. They eventually get so used to being haunted that just knives fly around and doors being not opened and closed and unconnected phones.
All the fun shit. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just living in a haunted house now. It's all good. And we get introduced in that sense to a new dynamic Naretsu. All the characters that died are now just hanging around in an afterlife, and they can sometimes go back and haunt as ghosts. So that the characters' designs are saved. We can see them again. Very nice. Very happy.
Hey. Very good.
So that's the show. It has introduced tragedy, drama, consequences, and then goes for the funny again.
Yeah, big tone shift.
Yeah.
Whiplash. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's all. That's for the this
those ones done. Yeah.
All right,
yeah,
Metsu. Very quick interjection.
Okay.
turns out, Normetsu, that can I?
Is it gonna?
No. Damn, never mind.
It's not gonna.
No, I was going to be if I had the image. Helldivers Normetsu. Helldivers Super Earth has an invasion.
Yes. How's the invasion going? You guys doing all right? Yeah, having a good time?
It's actually going very well, but there's a small downside, Normetsu. Apparently we're going to win in like 5 minutes. Then the invasion is defeated in 5 minutes.
That's great.
There's a whole story ahead of it, but Normetsu, let me share some tragic news.
Oh yeah.
This is the news. President killed in action.
No.
The president of Super Earth has been killed in action by the Illuminate during the siege of Prosperity City. The president died heroically, defending the presidential security bunker with only a pistol against a wave of Illuminate foes.
No, what a true patriot.
The president of 40 has been placed in the Ministry of Defense. Normetsu, the president died in the security bunker with only a pistol. Against waves of Illuminate, of course.
Shit. Oh, fuck! Oh, no!
There were billions of Illuminate, Normetsu. He defended against waves of Illuminate.
No, I'm not allowed. I don't know if this is deliberate.
Yes, it is.
I don't know if this. No. Because are you understanding why I'm laughing? Are you understanding like the reference that I'm feeling here?
Yes.
A certain historical figure.
Yes.
During a certain world war. a certain world war. A certain end. I'm gonna do a conspiracy. Alleged.
Wait, are you implying that Super Earth may be lying to us? That there were no waves of Illuminate?
Maybe. Oh, heretical talk. Yeah. Oh no. Very anti-democracy talk on this cast of anti-democracy. That's actually great. That's fucking amazing. That's so fucking good. I really do need to get back to playing that at some point.
I think you have to be fast because there are a bunch of now the Leviathans and the Overseers mission.
My problem with Helldivers is like because the missions take so fucking long, right?
Yeah, I guess.
I gotta commit to that, right? I gotta be ready to like sit there for like at least 2 hours.
You only need one. You don't have to play 2 hours. You can just do one mission if you want to.
Yeah, I know, but it's like it's still gotta commit like an hour to that. So it's
like a half an hour per mission is there and about.
Yeah, no, I don't know, but like you get what I mean, right? It's like
anyway, I have there's also a thing I've been doing. I've been playing a lot of Helldivers. I'm having a very fun time, and I saw
having
this.
Having a good time.
I know. I have the fan app, the fan maintained Helldivers app that just give me a ping whenever there is a message through the game system, of course.
Yeah.
And I just see this. Yeah. I read it and like, oh, this is so funny. The rest of you must know this.
This is so good. Yeah, this is so good. Yeah. Fucking jeez. I love the devs because I remember earlier on in the game, like I watched an interview where the devs kind of like talked about this kind of stuff, and they were kind of like, yeah, no, we we're not trying to make like any political statements or anything. We're just making fun of, I believe like what they mentioned in that early interview that I was listening to, which they were talking to some YouTuber or something, was like they base a lot of the Super Earth stuff on like 2000s, like Bush era, invade Iraq, right? Like Edward Snowden types, CIA type stuff, like that kind of stuff, right? That kind of like funny, like, oh yeah, America claims to be big democracy, big stuff, but it's actually spying on its citizens and getting into fucking stupid wars and shit, right? Like, you know, like that's like they saw that stuff going on, and that's kind of where what they've sort of based a lot of the Helldivers stuff on is that. So I'm not surprised that they would like poke fun at, you know, some other stuff, you know, poke fun because they're anti-authoritarian in general. Right? It's kind of like their only like real politics is like, but they're using it in like a fun way, right? To kind of be, and they're cool with like, you know, people having fun with it, right? Because it's all
and you know, I'm reading through some messages, but not everything is in here. Like, there's also stuff like the Illuminate has captured blah 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 city. This is proof that this is proof of the authoritarian tyranny of an alien superpower that will just invade without a cause.
Yeah, indeed.
Super Earth invading other... No, the Illuminates. They are invading without a cause. They're a galactic superpower that they're invading without a cause.
Exactly. All right. Well, anyway, should we?
Yeah. That was just the fun Helldiver diversion.
What do we?
I'll just go from down, counting down in my settings here.
Fire Force. So Fire Force. I think I mentioned last week they were doing. They were in the bloody church. The girl had gone to the church, and oh no, the church was actually feeding insects to the kids to turn them into infernals and trying to create the pillars. Big conspiracy. Oh, the nun shows up, and the nun is like shivering, and her ability is that she's constantly shivering, and she's just amplifying her shivering, and that causes her to be fucking strong as shit, right? And she's apparently also a pillar or something, and she's connected to the, you know, the old shit that destroyed the world the first time, right? It's all connected to the cult shit. But fuck all of that. Who gives a fuck, right? All of this bullshit. You know what the real story is?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Arthur. His sword, it's broken.
Oh.
Turns out, and the mechanic man is like, Arthur, what's wrong? And he's like, he's moping, right? He's moping. He's like, it wasn't a legendary sword after all. He's like, isn't this like made out of like shit that you could buy from the hard? No, it's unobtainium. It was made out of the fires of unobtainium stuff. He's like, but it looks like the stuff that you can get out of the hard. He's like, yeah, I brought it from the hardware store.
He's breaking character. This is a strategy.
Yeah, it's bad. This is bad. Yeah, it's bad. It's getting bad. Even the mechanic guy's like, okay, yeah, this is bad. And so mechanic guy's like, okay, we need to fix this. So I know this. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Arthur. This isn't unobtainium. You've been duped. But I know of. I think I might know how we can get some real unobtainium. I don't think it was called unobtainium.
Nah, just fantasy.
Just for simplicity,
adamantite,
right? Adamantite or whatever the fuck it. Fantasy metal, right? He's like, yeah, I totally wink. No, yeah, I'll get back to you, right? And so he goes to the red-haired girl mechanic that I think's his sister, and this other guy who's from because they're all in the Japanese village place right now, right? And he's like, okay, guys, listen, we're going to need Arthur to be powered up for the coming fights. You have to play along with this dumb bullshit, okay? Just trust me. Listen, we have to do this, right? Just I know it's gonna be cringe, but you have to play along with me, right? We're gonna do this. So he constructs this entire like Dragon Quest like fucking okay, Arthur, we're gonna go on a quest and to find the unobtainium. Here is our party, and it's like, and in Arthur's mind, it's like you've got like the dancer girl and like the mage and like the fighter, and he's the knight, and he's like, and Arthur is like, you know, it's almost like his dick's getting sort of hard. Like he's starting to, he's coming back up. He's coming back up. He's like, oh yeah, we'll go on a quest and we'll find the unobtainium. Where do we have to go? Well, we have to go to the geologist of the city. And Arthur's like, wait, why would the because he works with stones and rocks,
No,
Arthur, and
of
he'll
course.
obviously know. Yeah, oh yeah. Then so they go to the guy, and the guy is like, yeah, I know there was a gardener who had a spade made out of the metal. Maybe if you go talk to them, you could find more info. And then Arthur's like, what do you mean by that? And the guy's like, looks at the guy looks at the fucking mechanic, and then looks back at Arthur and is like, just repeats the same thing like he's an NPC. Just repeats, and Arthur's like, oh, yeah, he's like an NPC in a video game. That makes sense.
understand.
We're in a yeah, I understand. Okay, let's go. And then so they go through this like quest, and they pick, and he gets the magic shovel, the magical shovel. It's not just a spade, Ellie. It's the magical divination fucking thing, right? And they find the tree of life, Yggdrasil.
Yeah,
that's just
the world's tree.
Random tree, and he digs it up, and in it's like, oh, where's the unobtainium? It's back where you started your quest in the dark, or some shit, some riddle. And the mechanic guy's like, yeah, I have a chunk of iron back home that we'll use to make a new sword. We'll use that to craft a new sword, but we have to do this because we have to charge him up. Because his whole power works on his delusion, so we have to play. And Arthur's reading the fucking thing, and he's like, I have to go under the sun in the dark and on the way back where we start. I know, we have to go to the Nether.
Yeah.
We have to go into the dangerous Nether. That's where it is. And the guy's like, wait wait a minute. No, wait a minute.
No,
are
you
you sure
can't.
that's what it means?
You can't
you
fix
sure
the
that's what it means?
illusion.
Yeah, he's like, are you sure that's what that means? And Arthur's like, no, we're off. And Arthur's just like he's like, just off he goes. And the mechanic's like, oh, god fucking damn it. And now we have to, they're like being dragged along by Arthur on his delusional quest to find the unobtainium metal in the Nether. And it's great. I like Fire Force for this kind of shit. Because it's like, it's just fun. You know, it's just funny, right? Like we had our big fucking, shonen battle, big demons, and then we had like, oh, here's like some world lore conspiracy, big turns out human combustion is the demons. Like there's doppelgangers, burnt demon souls, and those demon souls want to come back to Earth, so they come back through the people. And that's why people spontaneously combust, because when they interact with the real world, they turn into fire and shit, right? And like, oh, we figured out the secret of human combustion. Cool. Arthur's Dragon Quest adventure time. It's fucking, I love it. It's great. Yeah. Arthur believes his own hype. Can't hate him. Yeah, can't hate him. No, I can't hate him. I love him. I think he's great. Because he's just like, he's such a fucking dumbass. He's so great. So yeah, Fire Force is great. Can't wait for the next episode. Definitely gonna be fun. It'll be a good time.
Yeah. So
I know you probably want to talk about something. I do kind of want to just quickly knock out Swordsman, because I can do that really fast.
Go ahead.
Because the TLDR of what happened in Swordsman is he's getting used to living with this young girl. His new daughter, I guess. Not really his daughter. And the reason it's like going to be really quick is because essentially all that happens is the one episode is basically, she needs to decide if she's going to live in the dorm or if she's going to live at his place and commute to the magic school, right? Oh, and he's like panicking because he's like, oh, what would be best for her? Maybe she needs to live in an environment with other students and socialize and da-da-da-da-da-da. He's like overthinking it the whole time. And then they go through like a sequence where he's like having to catch rats because he's like, oh no, we can't have rats. And she's like, oh, who cares? Who cares? I've been around rats all the time when I lived in the slums or whatever. And he's like, no, I'm not going to let you get bit and get sick by a rat. Fuck that. No, we're going to catch these rats and kick them out, right? No, go away. And then she's like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to stay with you. And he's like all that panicking, all that worrying. Oh, what would be best for her? She's like, no, I'm just gonna stay at the house. If I leave, you're gonna be useless at catching rats and all this other shit, right? And I want to eat your meals, and so it's simple, right? Then the last episode was basically silver-haired girls trying to make her move.
Yeah.
Because there's some build up going on, because you had the whole the church is trying to resurrect people, the Pope is evil, right? And so they've captured the Pope, and now there's like an envoy from the foreign country where the religion is from is coming, and there's big politics stuff going on in the background, right? And our man has been invited as the tutor of the knights to the fancy ball meeting, big politic, big people in the big meeting room, right? We got to get you a new suit, right? We got to get you a new suit so that you can not look like a shabby old man, basically. And she uses this as pretext to basically set up a date. And while she's on the date, she's getting spied on by like the underclassmen, right? And one of them, the guy, basically just flat out like asks her like, "What is your feelings for him?" Right? Like, how do you actually feel about him? And she's like, "I just want my master to be happy." Right? And then it leads into they have a duel, the master and the chick, and he obviously wins, right? Even though she's like very, very fucking fast. Her whole thing is she's like lightning, like she's like super fucking quick. But he manages to beat her because he basically cheats. Because he grabs her hair and like knocks her to the ground and fights dirty, and he basically says like, "Yeah, in a real fight, people aren't going to, play by the rules. You need to be prepared to deal with people trying to pull your hair and knocking you down and doing all this kind of shit, right? You have to be ready for that. You need to work on this, right?" And the whole thing was like, if she won, she was going to basically confess to him. But obviously he won, so she didn't end up confessing. And she talks with like the classmate guy who I think has a crush on her. So there's like some love triangle shit going on. And he's basically like, "Oh yeah, you were gonna totally confess your feelings to him or whatever." And she's like, "No." And that was basically the last two episodes. Like, it's really quick. I feel like the pacing's definitely slowed down a bit. And you know me, I'm not actually that bothered by slows, unless it's like fucking glacial, but this doesn't feel super glacial. But I am interested to see how things are going to pick up next episode, where I assume we're going to get like the big ball party political, this country's influence, trying to do influence on the nobles, and right, see how that plays out. But yeah, so that's Swordsman. It's okay, it's fine. Yeah stuff anyway.
So
what do you got
I can be very short about girl boyfriendship relationship, because it's only been one episode because of the timings.
Yeah.
And in the shortest amount of time ever is that last episode, his accessories got trashed. And he's big sad because he had funny enough, a romanticized view of love. How funny that! No matter how funny that sounds, but he gets over it. So he gets some thingies like the girl that is the blue-haired girl says some stuff to him, and then he gets some talk from the black-haired girl that is kind of says, "Hey, I'd like you date with me," and he goes from but I'm don't and he says, "All right, I'll ask you tomorrow," she says, and then she asks the same thing tomorrow. And then he goes from, "Yes, I like you, but I also know that I was pretending to be asleep at that moment to grab you tighter so I get close to you. I knew that she was gone for this moment, so that's why I asked you to be near you at that time. So I was very sneaky, and at this moment you was kind of sad, so I was getting extra friendly at that moment." So she just lays out her cards and goes, "Hey, yeah, I like you. I'm being very sneaky and calculating so that you like me more. That's also part of love. So he gets he gets over his kind of his romanticized view of love, and we're bigger and better. That's the next episode that will come out in 7 hours. No, not 7 hours. Soon, today, quotation marks.
Soon. So anywho, Calhoun. The thing, so it's interesting because I think out of all of these, like this one's got the fastest pace because shit's happening at lightning.
Ooh.
It could also be because I watched a whole bunch of episodes back to back. I think I watched like 3 episodes back to back. Because I was a bit behind. And the kind of TLDR as to what's going on. So Snake Man hates his dad. He really fucking hates his dad. And he's trying to use the Gene Terror to like create like a son. Like I think it might have been like a brother that died or some shit. I'm not quite sure yet. But like try and create the son of the deaths for the dad, but it's not going to be the same because the replicants or whatever they are, like the Gene Terror like clones, are not like the same people in a sense. And that's why he's like super fascinated with our girl because she's like a clone of the other girl, but it's not an exact replica; it's its own person, right? And that's what he wants. And so, that's kind of his motivation. There's a bit going on with like. So, it's really fucking hard to explain this shit because it's kind of fucking complicated. Calhoun got demolished.
Yes.
But then something happened, and the Gene Terror that's in the sky has something to do with it, and it's like created a clone, like an illusion of Calhoun that has all the people in it, right? But the issue is only certain people can actually see the Calhoun, right?
Yes.
And this causes problems because... And so you have clones of people in Calhoun, right? But if the real-life equivalent that left Calhoun when it was demolished comes back to Calhoun, they'll see Calhoun, and if they walk into Calhoun, the clone disappears and basically gets erased from existence. And then if the clone, with the real one leaves, then that's it. The clone doesn't come back, right? So there's something going on there. It's also set constantly in summer as well.
Yes.
The seasons don't change, supposedly, even though they've been there for like 4 years. Allegedly. So there's something going on there. And it is assumed that if our girl leaves Calhoun, she's just gonna vanish. Like, they don't actually know what's gonna happen. She might just vanish. Because she's a clone.
The reverse.
Yeah, because she's a clone, but the real life version is dead. Like actually dead, right?
Oh,
so,
alright.
And we actually found out how she died. Suicide,
Oh.
funnily enough. Sleeping pills. She consumed a bunch of sleeping pills and died. Through that. So yeah, kind of interesting. So you have the Chinese, the actress girl, right, who's the blonde one, right, is kind of like trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. She goes to Hong Kong because she can leave, right, because she's actually a real person.
Yes.
She's interesting because she never lived in the original Calhoun, but she can see Calhoun, right, and she can interact with Calhoun, right.
Is she a twin by any chance? That's
no. She never lived. She never lived in Calhoun. She had no connection to it yet. For some reason, she's able to do it, and I think it's got something to do with the emotions. Is my theory. There's like the Gene Terror is like doing stuff for something with emotions, like it's generating Calhoun based on like emotional response or something.
Yeah, I mean,
but she leaves. She leaves to Hong Kong, and this is how we get like a bunch of this exposition. That she's interacting with people on like an online chat room, and like she's interacting with like the white-haired guy. Who's like working with the snake guy, and they're both trying to like figure out the secrets for different reasons, right? Because he's trying to figure it out so that he can use it to help the snake guy, but she's trying to figure it out because she wants to help our main girl leave, right? She's trying to figure out like how the fuck to sort this out, right? And so yeah, we find out basically, there's some weird shit going on with this city, right? And it's fascinating. It is like there's a mystery going on here, like what is the Gene Terror? How, like, it has something to do with the pharmaceutical company. Allegedly, the pharmaceutical company was doing some shady shit in Calhoun, and that's why it got demolished, because the guy's dad ordered the son to demolish Calhoun in the first place, right? So there's some like corporate espionage, weird shit going on. The dad sent like a spy into Calhoun to spy on what the snake guy's doing, because he's the son, right? And it's very very complicated, big conspiracy theory, big stuff. And in the midst of all of this, you have the generic romance between our guy who is fully aware that this is like a clone that isn't actually her and isn't actually it's just like someone that looks like the girl that he loved, but it's not the girl that he loved, because he and the green-haired guy who were bros, right? They were bros back when Calhoun was still Calhoun, right? And the green guy is like, listen, dude, you gotta let go. You gotta like get out of here. This is fucked, right? You're torturing yourself doing this. And he's like, no, I'm fine. I'm just gonna stay. I don't really give a shit. This is fine with me. I'm okay. And this all kind of comes to a head where our girl just kind of like expresses all this stuff to him and is like, I don't know if I'm real, I'm not allowed to leave. Fuck it, I'm just gonna stay here with you. Don't leave me. And they kind of, they have a lovey-dovey thing. And then the episode kind of ends with the blonde girl coming back, and we find out that they fucked.
Ooh.
They wake up naked next to each other, and the implication is they fucked. So yeah, look at that, adults doing romance shit in the romance anime. Holy shit! And then they fucked. It's kind of but yeah, no. So yeah, it's good. I like it. I really enjoy it. I think it's going full Soma. Yeah, it's kind of a little bit like that. It's like there's some weird, like, it's a really interesting show because it does kind of like play into your expectations a little bit, where it's like, yeah, you go in expecting like just this generic like romance thing, and then you've got all of this like fucking weird, complicated drama type shit going on, like the mystery around like, how did the gene what is this, what's going on, how does this work, why is this like this, right? Like, it's a fascinating series. It really is. It's held my attention quite a bit. So yeah, I'm continuing it. I'm happy with it. We'll see. I will see what the mystery is, I guess. It'll be interesting to kind of watch how this plays out.
So up to on towards the last shows. Pick one of your shows, and then I'll talk about my boring detective shows afterwards.
So Ranger is progressing.
Yes, it's. I'll talk about it a little bit. It has a little bit of a slow dip, but now it's kind of we're getting a very big intrigue and big questions at the moment.
I am kind of like, I don't know, it felt like we skipped an episode though, because we had, he's going to try and assassinate the Green Ranger.
Yes.
Right? The yellow girl, and they go to assassinate the Green Ranger, but they get intercepted by the other two people that were in the team, right? But they're in a different team right now. And then Green Ranger shows up and basically beats the shit out of them. But Green Ranger is like, I knew from the start that you were a monster, but I'm fascinated. You need to pick a side, right? Like, you haven't picked a side. What are you doing, right? And obviously our man is conflicted, right? He is actually starting to feel things, right? And then it kind of cuts, and then it just goes straight into the next episode, and it's like, wait, what? Are they not going to keep fighting? Like, what the fuck happened? what the fuck happened? I had to check, because I was like, shit, did I miss an episode? Like, what the fuck? But it just kind of like is like, oh, okay, I guess we're into the next episode then. All right, I guess that kind of just resolved itself. I guess like Green Ranger just kind of knows.
Yeah,
and is fine with this.
So the funny thing, the interesting.
Oh fuck yeah, so good.
I don't know,
I
Soma.
guess we should. Okay. So the context, right? So they're cleaning up after the kaiju thing, right?
No,
Kaiju.
I was going to mention something also about this episode 6, the episode before that. We're getting some unique character designs for some reason, and then we don't see them again. I think it's interesting that the fact that we're kind of learning that the Pink Brigade is a support brigade. Yes.
Yeah.
But they're also the
Pink
spy.
Flags.
They are the spy brigade, the espionage brigade. Well, if the Green Rangers are like the secrets, I don't know how you call it. The executive,
the anti-boss squad.
Yeah,
right?
they're just the anti-boss squad, but the Pink Rangers are espionage.
Yeah.
Maybe even hacking and
then
whatnot.
the yellow squad is like R&D research.
Yes, and then
stuff.
blue is defense, and red is attack, and then we got the whole squad going.
Yeah.
I just thought it was interesting enough to mention that part.
Yeah, it is interesting, yeah, and that is some good stuff. But like, we go into the next episode, and they're cleaning up from the kaiju. Like, apparently, the kaiju is like turning people into kaijus because there's like multiple kaijus and getting spawned, and one of them had like the ID card of the preschool teacher that was eaten, right?
Mhm.
So that's kind of the implication. And this leads into our girl with heterochromia, right? The
Yeah.
two different colored eyed girls. She like bumps into another girl, and I do like the setup for this, and I'll kind of give the payoff to it later because it happens after the thing I actually want to talk about. Because it's kind of like, oh, is she going to be in trouble? Has she found a secret? Is she about to get assassinated? Like, what's going on here, right? But then we go to our man, and he because Red Ranger shows up.
Yes.
Because the Red Rangers are like fighting the kaijus.
Oh, because he's so
And the
heroic
Red-
at this moment, right?
He's so heroic. Oh yeah, he shows up after his team has already like mostly killed them all.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
And also the death themselves.
yeah, exactly. So they show up. Heterochromia. One of the green girls she's got like a silver eye and a yellow eye. Yeah.
Mhm.
So Red Ranger, he's like taking his suit off and he's like getting changed. He's like on the phone with someone, and our boy is like, "This is the perfect opportunity to strike. He's gonna do it. And he's sneaking up. He fucks up and he makes a noise and he turns into a stone, right?
Yeah, and
stone.
then just tripping and whatnot.
He's tripping up, and you think I did like how like this is a good example of how you do like suspense and payoff, right? Because you're in like suspense because you're like, oh, is he gonna get found out? Is he gonna have to like make an excuse? What's gonna happen? And then he has a sword out and he trips on a stone, Ellie. He trips on the stone and the sword goes straight into Red Ranger's heart.
And dies.
Dead. And he's dead.
And
just like that. The best character in the whole show is dead, Ellie.
Yeah, I was very sad. I also like his Sakurama's or Fighter D's emotional state at the moment of...
Yeah, he's like, what the fuck?
He's like, I did it. I can't believe it.
He's like,
yes.
wait, what?
You can feel the anxiety of sneaking around. I mean, I guess you can even relate, like, oh no, sneaking around when your parents are asleep or whatnot.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Like, you feel the anxiety and you feel like that tension, right? Of like, oh, is he going to get found out and have to make an excuse?
And you can even relate to the relief of, getting away, because everybody in the world got away with something. And like, yes, I got away with this sneaky thing that I did. Stealing candy or cheating on the test or whatever you did.
Yeah, and that's the feeling. That's the feeling you get, but at the same time, it's like, oh man, the best character in the show is dead.
Yeah.
God damn it! But then turns out, wait a minute, it's what Red Ranger? What? Why is the Red Ranger on the television? What the fuck? What?
So here,
what happened?
Yeah, he's still alive.
It's a faker. It's an imposter. What the fuck? A guy's like freaking out. He's like, He's like, God damn it.
So Naretsu, there is because of this new revelation, I checked the OP a little bit, right? And somewhere at the last quarter bit, there's a moment where there's a bunch of defeats and you're flying through. There's the castle that the fighters come from, and you're flying through. And you got the interior of the castle you're flying through. Because the chairs, that's the school arc, they're flying through. Feathers, but Petra representing.
Yeah.
And then is there a bunch of vets.
Right.
So either that's about the kaiju, or clones.
Yeah. Well, I found it interesting how they didn't like, because we don't know, because they also established that they've found like they've taken the old Blue Ranger out of retirement.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I just want money. I don't want to do this anymore. I want to run away.
Done.
I don't want to do this anymore. God damn it. It's like, no, you're the Blue Ranger again now. You're going to have to suck it up. you can't take the suit off that easy. I think one of them said or something like that. And the Red Ranger's just there and he's like looking and it's like, Is it really him? Is it really going to be him? Is it a clone? Was the one that he killed a body double? Who was he on the phone with?
So
Yeah.
because I'm very invested. I'm my investment level was a bit low actually in the last episodes. It's going way up, and then I've been repeatedly I watched the dialogue of him on the phone repeatedly from would Red Ranger say this?
Yeah. Who is this a body double? Like, what's going on?
Is he? Because he says stuff like, "You guys aren't the ones fighting." Like, all right. I mean.
Yeah. Shit. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Is that because that's like you're not the ones fighting because he's the Red Ranger and the Red Ranger's the fighting squad, or is it because he's talking? He's talking about
his clones. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is good. Yeah, this is good. This is why I like Red Ranger. Well, this is why I'm like, I agree with you. Like, things were kind of going a bit, downhill a bit for a while. It was a bit, but yeah. But then, as soon as this happens, I'm like, ooh! Excitement levels, let's go!
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. Yeah. So that's kind of one part of it. And then the next part of it is we're introduced a bit more to the Yellow Squad, which was kind of cool. We got to see a little bit more of that. And our glazed-eyed girl is kind of like playing her hand a little bit and being like, well, I mean, actually, we created the kaiju, didn't we?
The first kaiju, at least. These ones we didn't, but
we already know everything about this. So here's the deal: that guy who was once the Yellow Ranger's second in command, he's working with the Pro Monster Alliance or whatever. I'm gonna go kill him, and when I do, you're gonna relinquish the Yellow Ranger to me. I'm gonna be the new Yellow Ranger or some shit.
You give me the artifact.
Yeah, and it seems the Yellow Ranger is completely aware of, oh yeah, have fun, hope you're collecting all the artifacts. So,
and this
just raises further questions.
And this is why I at this moment I was kind of fine with the weirdness of the Green Ranger fight, and that this entire organization is just 100% backstabbing. Everybody knows. Everybody knows
everything, yeah.
But everybody knows that everybody else is a traitor and is going to betray each other at any moment. So, you tried to take out this other ranger? Oh, I did that yesterday too. Why did you fail? I tried this, that didn't work. What did you try?
Yeah. There's some fucking great shit going on, definitely. So, and we also did, speaking of the our pro monster organization, we got introduced to them a little bit, and then the big reveal for our heterochromia girl is she is the daughter of the head of that organization, and she joined the Rangers as a spy.
Also, Naretsu. Well, I don't know if it's necessarily as a spy, but two things, Naretsu. X is in this organization.
Yes, she is.
But
yeah,
also,
she's back.
Naruto, the couple that was the couple.
Exploring they were exploring the school, and
They are
Kaiju,
also
yeah.
in the ones that were in detail that we didn't mention, of course, was that the real Sakumara saved those two from a kaiju, and so they would know that Fighter D is a fake or a blah 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 that deal. So we know that this equal rights organization is made up of X, a former second in command lieutenant, our heterochromia girl, and then 3 other characters. And the couple that should know something, but also then 3 characters that we don't know anything about. The guy with the weird glasses, the girl that's with the guy with the glasses, and the father. Those characters we don't know nothing about. Also, the thick girl from the park is also part of that.
Yeah. Oh, I'm getting a phone call, so I'm going to have to be back in a bit. So
just
you talk about your stuff, yeah.
All right, so this is a cheating trick. I'm just watching the episode. I'm skimming through the episode we're talking about. It helps me remember what is going on. Small detail, I suppose, with the Ranger episode is that the heterochromia girl makes contact with Fighter D after leaving, and then Hisui, the second command of the Green Squad, shows up and goes like, "Hey, you're no longer part of this organization. You don't have anything to say right now," etc., etc. But she gets invited. The second in command of the Green Squad gets invited to take a look at the monster equality group, either as a kidnap thing or something else. Oh, 5-0, yeah. Go ahead. Don't worry about it. That's why replaying a video exists. Gives us more views. Haha. I'll talk about Apothecary Diary a little bit. We're kind of getting into a phase of it's only 1 episode, that helps at least. We're kind of revealed that Sisui there's a very many Sui characters apparently, is colorblind, which we know makes her part of the what was it? Part of the bloodline of the original group of the capital that kind of infiltrated back into this group. We're getting introduced to the kind of the customs and whatnot here. But the biggest thing is that we're getting big confirmation in that this is actually a coup is happening, being planned. Guns are being produced here. The wheat is being stored apparently here. So, and we're getting introduced to a big scary lady that is very into being the revolution. Everybody with Mao Mao has met while she was kidnapped was friendly, was nice. And now we are getting introduced into the dark side, the bad side. We're getting knives drawn, swords drawn, scary faces, and all that stuff. Sorry, I almost died there. Terrible when you're talking alone. Yeah. That's Apothecary Diaries. I should get one of myself, apparently. So, well, Shoshimin, I kind of want Renretsu for that because it's funny. What do I do? Let me just see. I'm getting another message from the Helldiver, so I'll just see if it's funny enough to read that one aloud. The battle is in its final hours. Alright. Oh, I know something. I'll grab an image while I'll talk about it. I don't think I've mentioned the Licorice Recoil short episodes. If I did and I forgot, sorry. Licorice Recoil.
I've returned. I'm back.
Oh, you're just on time. I was running out of things to talk about and was going to talk.
Oh no.
Because in the short Renretsu Apothecary Diaries, things are explained, but everything is going to happen next episode.
Okay.
So
yeah.
we will.
Fun
The short of it is that we are having an entire episode where Mamo is treated friendly, and we're getting a lot of information about this girl's colorblind. We're the history of the place and whatnot, and it's all fun and games and happy festivals and whatnot. Sunday Naretsu, we're getting a big scary lady who is very much out for power, and we're getting introduced to the dark side of this whole kidnapping thing. Because up until this point it was all very friendly.
Okay. So anywho. Also Survivo's leaving, I see.
Yeah, I said the goodbyes.
Yeah. So, I don't know. What do we want to do? Do we want to do your ordinary?
I'll do my ordinaries.
Yeah, we'll get ordinaries out the way, and then we'll talk about quacks. So I'll let you.
Yeah, Shoshimin series, as it's called in Japanese. So, 2 episode Naretsu. No, last episode. We're still. It wasn't Osunai who was setting the fires. It was somebody else. Urino, the girlfriend of Osunai, suspected Osunai and was totally destroyed in his faulty reasoning. And the great line, "Oh, don't worry, it wasn't like I lost faith in you or anything," says Osunai to her boyfriend. "I never really had anything to begin with," and then destroyed, fatality.
Rip.
So, Jogoro. Don't know why I got a cough.
Oh boy.
Jogoro, Kobata, Osunai doesn't actually know who the arsonist is or what happened or why. So she asks, goodbye, Jake.
Later.
So she asks, "Hey, can you explain?" All right, so he's going to critters. He's going to explain. So it's Hiya, the friend of Urino, and he had cram school 6 days a week and was like very frustrated and just set some fires, and then Urino just came up with a solution that kind of fits, and then he had decided to just follow that explanation, just follow the predictions that were made by Urino. He just knows self-fulfilling prophecy, or other person fulfilling prophecy, and Urino got completely over his head, like, "Oh yeah, I'm so great, I'm predicting all these things because I have somebody who is doing the things that I tell are going to happen." And so the arsonist, that's basically the explanation. The most interesting thing is that Osunai isn't behind the whole thing, because there are a couple of things that were set on fire that could be related to Osunai or that are related to Osunai, but apparently were just not related to Usunai. We were meant to suspect her, and she has nothing to do with it. It's a kind of interesting ending. But Naretsu, there's a thing. Both of them are single. Jogoro just got horribly broke up because he didn't care. Usunai got broke up because she destroyed him. And also because he said, "You're the arsonist. Go to the police." She said, "No, I'm not it. Why did you think that? You're stupid." So Naretsu, they have a lengthy 5-minute conversation about, well, I guess for now, so long it makes sense, it might as well that we might stick together.
Right.
And the funny thing is, of course, that Usunai, Urino asked Usunai, "Hey, wanna date?" And she said, "Sure."
Yeah, why not?
Kobato got asked out from, "Hey, do you want to date?" And Kobato, or I say the both names interchangeably, Jogoro says, "Sure." So both of them said sure to the first person that says, "Do you want to date?" Then they broke up, and then they have a 5-minute conversation in the anime, an hour long in the show, it's in real life itself. Hey, what are the cost benefits analysis of us sticking together? And they come out of, oh yeah, that makes sense, and then they kind of have this realization of, yeah, alright, it makes sense that we stick together. So they're dating. Kirino is no longer president of the newspaper club. Disgrace, go away. But the rest of there is one trick Usunai did in this whole one manipulation. Turns out that she deliberately made herself suspicious.
Ooh.
She was helping Urino try to catch the arsonist by eliminating all the obstacles without him knowing. But there was a change in attitude. At some point, Usunai made herself deliberately suspicious. And that moment, Naretsu, was when Urino tried to kiss Usunai without her consent. And then she said... And then she has a funny line of, "Hey, the previous time, the time with the driver's license getting, and the guy trashed her cake and then stole her bike and whatnot, that was just a little payback. The whole thing with the kidnapping, that was to protect myself. This was the first time I was taking revenge. Because revenge to me is that she sows the feet in your soul to make you regret your foolish actions and to make you feel deeply inadequate. And that's why Usunai is a great character.
Right. So yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah, and I'm being long because it's a fun show. Next episode, that was the first episode. The next episode, Naretsu, Jogoro gets hit by a car in a hit and run.
Oh shit!
His sternum is broken and he has to stay in bed. He has to recover for like a half a year, apparently. And this triggers kind of a flashback of him trying to solve another hit and run of his classmate. And all the while he says, "Oh, I am doing this because it's a hit and run against my classmate. I want to catch the guy that's doing the thing, that, get justice." So it's all a lie. He's doing this because it's interesting. He gets called out. "Hey, are you doing this it's because it's funny?" He says, "Oh no, I'm doing this for the justice of it." And no, he's not. He's doing this. This is trying to become ordinary Jogoro. He's doing this because he's an asshole, because it's funny to him to solve mysteries and mess with other people's lives. But the end of the episode is the first meeting of Jogoro and Usunai. And the next episode will be apparently solving the mystery, and the reason why the guy that got hit by a car and whose mystery of that Jogoro solved, he tried to commit suicide apparently, and Jogoro is very bothered by it because he wanted to apologize for something, but we don't know why he's apologized for. We don't know why if it was an attempted suicide, if it even was an attempted suicide, etc. And Osanai has promised revenge on the driver that hit Jogoro, so we'll see what happens to him, to that hit and run guy. Anyway, that's the Shoshimin. Start of a new mystery.
So-
End of the old mystery and start of the new one.
So, best show of the season time. Man.
A lot of things happened
Clocks
in
is
this.
so fucking good, dude. So fucking good. Like, goddamn. I don't know, because I don't want to do like a whole recap, right? I don't want to do like a whole recap, but I will kind of like talk about how, like, Machu's Rebellion, right? The first episode, right? Absolute fucking kino, right? Absolute bloody kino of an episode. You get all of the, because we had all the setup the previous episode, right?
Yeah,
all of
yeah.
that setup, all of that big building. Oh, there's gonna be big betrayal. Oh, there's gonna be big stuff, and then it's like, bam, all hits at once, right? You've got the Psycho Gundam, right? Transforming all the parts, all the armor pieces,
Yeah.
all the stuff, and you've got the, all that happening. Yeah, it's not actually a clan battle. It's just turned into a fucking, assassination attempt / fight on I think her name's Cecilia.
Yeah.
The old woman. And yeah, so our boy he has he's decided to do a peace out. He's done a peace out and gone invisible because he's decided
His planet needs him, and goodbye.
His planet needs him. Yeah. Okay. So essentially, Nan and him kind of go under an underpass, right? And they're like, shit's basically hitting the fan, right? Shit is basically getting real, and Nan's reaction is very, I think, pretty what you would expect. She's like, we need to get the fuck out. Fuck Machu.
Yeah.
Fuck all this shit. We got to get the fuck out. Machu will be fine. She's whatever, right?
She's rich.
Run away with me. She's rich. Yeah, run away with me. Let's get the fuck out, because she's a refugee. She knows what happens when shit gets real, right? She knows what happens when war comes knocking on the doorstep, right? She's like, yeah, we got to go. Shinji, on the other hand, he's like,
Shuji.
Oh, Shuji is like, oh, the Gundam, the rose is awake. The rose is opening. Some cryptic bullshit. Some cryptic bullshit. And then the Kira kind of envelops the Gundam. And
the Zack Nova happens, and he vanishes like sharded.
He vanishes. Yeah, he vanishes. And this causes the cyber new type girl. Yeah, she starts going ballistic because the Kira disappears, and she's like, you took the Kira, where is the Kira? You've taken the Kira from me. And she starts basically going mental.
And just firing lasers in a city.
Yeah. And the other guy is trying to like, okay, we need to go kill Cecilia or whatever now. We got to get her, so he's like leading her over to her so that they can assassinate,
And fortunately, Bull is here, and he has the moves with his spindly.
Yeah, he's got this like Gundam ship thing that's got like wire lasers and shit. But also we had the other guy who works with Cecilia, right? He's in a fucking cool looking Zaku.
Yeah, he's a knight, basically.
Knight. Yeah, he's got like
a white knight.
People were pointing out on Twitter that the helmet, like the head, is based off like a frog helmet. They're called like frog helmets, where it's like you have the slit on the top. Yeah, and it's like, yeah, it's clearly like the design work. They put a lot of design work into that Gundam. It's really cool, or that Zaku, I should say. And so yeah, you have that kind of happening, and while this is all going down, you have Machu stealing the money and being like, right, I'm going to use this and buy the shit. We have to get away, right? But she gets confronted by the chick,
Anki.
and it's like, what are you doing? You're doing all this for a boy. And Machu grabs the gun that's in the safe and points it at her, but she's like, you wouldn't fucking, you're not gonna do that. You're a pussy. Fuck you. You're privileged white girl. You're not gonna, you're not gonna. But then she does take the shot. She misses, but she does shoot her, and that causes the chick to fall over and kind of be like, oh shit, she is being fucking real, right? And she runs off, and at that point, she's just kind of like, well. No
that's it for you.
Yep, you're fucked. There's no turning back now.
And then, of course, later on, the police show up and they do their facial recognition thing and like,
and they figure out who it is.
Hey, you. It's you. Come, you're terrorists. Come here, and she gets shot by.
Basically because she finds the Gundam. Nan has already run the fuck off.
Yeah, just she's completely gone.
Out. Yeah. But she comes across the Gundam, and she's like, "No one's here. Where is everyone? What the fuck's going on?" And Machu's like, she gets shot, and we get kind of hints of what happens in the next episode as well, because the Gundam reacts while she's not even piloting it and defends her, and she's like, "Thanks, Gundam." Thanks, Gundam.
I really think I'm not too familiar with the Gundam things. I'm really thinking that if the Gundam has this Psychomu installed, that makes it
that kind of gets established in the next episode.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying
this isn't something that, to my knowledge, this isn't something that normally happens, as Gundams don't normally move when they're not being piloted, right? So this must be a new thing for Quarks, from what I can understand.
I think any Gundam that has a Psychomu installed is receptive to the not whims, the intention, the intentions.
The will. Yeah, because kind of jumping ahead to the next episode, the guy that gets fucking vaporized by Nan, he acts very surprised by this, right? He's like, wait, she's controlling the fucking thing when it's not even being what
he specifically says without a suit. So apparently
without the suit,
there's precedent to control a Gundam with not being inside it, but you have to wear the suit for it.
Maybe.
So
but basically, so she gets in the Gundam, she's flying off. Our boy Baal and
best character
guy, best character. Yeah, they take care of. They kill the Cyber. I assume they're dead. I think it was kind of hinted that they fled from the scene. Maybe.
I don't think so.
Probably dead, which is a shame. The show has a knack for coming up with killer character designs just to fucking kill them.
Well,
that lolly chick, right? The psycho girl.
Yeah,
dude, so much art of that girl. just like the girl, right? Just.
Are you sure, Naretsu?
Yeah, I thought it was a girl. I don't know. All the artwork I've seen, it's a girl.
Well, it's never confirmed, so most of them don't show the crotch, actually.
Well, who cares, right? But it doesn't matter. But what I'm saying is they introduce these characters that have just fucking insane, pretty insane goddamn, designs that are really good and get shitloads of fan art, and then they just kill them the next episode, just fucking dead. But basically, yes, they're both taken care of, and then Machu's kind of having a freak out in the Gundam because she's like, "Where the fuck is everyone?
Mm-hmm. Where's Suchi? Where's my Kira? What's blah blah blah?
Where's my Kira? Where's And Char kind of comes, or not Char, but Baal comes in and is kind of like, you need to chill the fuck out. Basically, smacks the Gundam, knocks her out. Is kind of like, you need to calm down. you're not done yet. You're coming with us, right?
Also,
And so-
Nya gets also picked up.
recruited. Yeah, but she gets recruited.
Yeah.
Because the guy shows up and he's like, "Hey, you're pretty good, kid. You're pretty good. You want to join? Fucking. You want to join our empire? You want to join the empire? You want to join? I can't. Oh god, I'm blanking now. What the fuck is? Because it's not the Federation.
Xeon.
The Federation's Xeon. Yeah, Xeon. You want to join Xeon? And Nana's kind of like, yeah, all right.
Well, what
No,
other
not like
places?
she's
What other place you can
Yeah,
go?
what else is she gonna do? So the episode after, right? So right after is more of. So we get a bit of the.
Well, we should
backstory.
mention Naretsu that Bull wasn't planning on assassinating
yeah.
Celia, which was the concern of Cecilia. Celia. But Bull actually is going to kill both of the big 'cause factions.
I guess to kind of put this into, and this actually also ties into the next episode too, because that's kind of Char's plan as well. Is they need to eliminate both the factions to stop the civil war and to kind of keep Xeon stable, right?
I don't know if that was
Because
Char's plan, actually. He just says, oh...
No, Char specifically tells Ball before he leaves that, yeah, we're going to have to kill, because their whole thing is like that the plan is that they do want to kill Cecilia,
Mhm.
but it goes haywire because Char takes the fucking, like, self-destruct thing off the Zaku, because he's like, I want the plan to fail so that the meteor does destroy the city.
Yeah.
Like, and he tells Ball this before he leaves. He's like, we need to make sure that, because before he leaves, he's like, yeah, we're going to have to kill Cecilia and we're going to have to kill those are our true enemies, right? Is the leadership. And this kind of is because, and this is a little bit of deep lore that you probably won't be privy to because you didn't watch the original. But Char is the son of the person who was the original founder of Xeon. But the family, whatever it's called, the purple-haired people family, right?
Mhm.
They killed his father and supplanted him as the leaders of Xeon, right?
Yeah.
And so he's like, no, I need to destroy these usurpers, right? In a sense, right? It's kind of part of his motivation. Char's a complicated character.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go through an entire history lesson on Char's character, but the TLDR is, yeah. So a fun fact is this, like, flashback sequence in the movie version. Both this and the other flashback sequence happened one after the other.
Yeah, that's
right.
I gathered that.
Yeah, because essentially I haven't watched the movie version, but the movie version is like the first half of it is all of this flashback stuff, and then it's like the first episode, right, of the show.
Yeah.
Right? So it is interesting how they kind of change things around, and we're getting this kind of, I mean, it's relevant, right? Because it's essentially showing, okay, here's what happened to Char, right?
Yes.
There's a space station, the Federation or whatever the Earth Federation is trying to toss the station into the moon to destroy the city that's there, and it kills Cecilia, right? Because basically they're thinking, oh, we've lost the war, we might as well take it with us, right? And Char is like, I'm going to use this as a way to kill Cecilia. So they go in. He takes the self-destruct sequence off the Gundam, right, off the Zaku. I always get confused. The Zaku.
Mobile suits, all of them are.
He is confronted by someone in another mobile suit.
Yeah, Anesthesia. It's an original name, or not original. It's an original Gundam name.
So I believe. Lottie will probably let me know, but I believe that it's actually Char's sister, because Char's sister joins the Federation. In the original show, Char's sister is on the White Base during the whole series with Amuro, but she keeps it on the down low and just like secret stuff. So I believe it's like Char's sister.
Right.
And so that's why they have a Kira and they interact with each other, and that's what sparks the Psycom to go ballistic, and Char is like caught in the middle of this. And he's like, shit, I can see time, right? Which is a very, like, ominous thing to say before you get yeeted out of existence. It's like, I can see time. and then a giant chunk of the space station gets removed, and it gets diverted and doesn't crash into the moon.
Mhm.
And Bol is just kind of like, all right, that's fuck. I will carry on your will, Char, bro. My
Yeah.
bro.
Well,
I will carry on your
so
mission.
what I think is interesting, right? Char is big on kill Cecilia, get rid of the, get her leadership, get rid of the leaders. But Cecilia right now is like, oh, Char, great hero, big fan.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
It's like if Char were to explain his situation, Cecilia, oh damn, I'm so sorry. I'll give you like a bit. I'll make you second in command. My Char, you saved my life. You did won us a war. He could totally be in the best graces ever in the ranks of Zeon.
So that's kind of like the first part, and then the second part is obviously Nan is now on the moon with Cecilia, and Cecilia's like, okay, here's the deal. You're gonna, if you pilot the Gundam for me, our new Gundam, because they have a new Gundam, the what is it called, the Griffs or something. Ifrid.
Gfred.
The Gifrid, yeah.
Well,
yeah,
the fun thing is, Ametsu, that we cracked the code of what is G-Quox and why it has so many U's and whatnot.
Yeah.
Have you seen that part?
No, I haven't. What's that part?
So, there's a numbering in computer language. Quox, so just without the G, right? So there's a Q, U, X is a number 4. And Q, U, U, X is 5. Or something.
Right.
So if you just add another 5 U's to add it, that's kind of... It kind of feels like those are version numbers. Like...
Right.
0, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. So this Quox Gundam that we have with the 7 U's is version 1.5.
Right, okay.
So,
Interesting.
Gfred, interestingly enough, would be... If G-Quox G-Quox with 7 U's is, say, number 8 in computer ordering, G-Fred is number 9. So G-Fred is the next generation of G-Quox. No longer a version 1.2.5. It is version 2.
Right.
So that's the logic behind the weird name.
So we find out, we've got this new Gundam, but all the pilots, they just seem to mysteriously start having heart attacks, Ellie. They just
the doctors can't figure it out.
Yeah, and it turns, and we get to meet our man's friend from college or something, right? And he's like, he from school, and he's like, oh yeah, I'll bake you a cake, like I bake everyone a cake. And it's like, yeah, Nan picks up pretty quick. So if I eat this, I'm gonna die, right? If I eat this, I'm gonna have a heart attack, right? Like, that's the thing, because he's working for the supreme leader man guy, right? He's working with the other faction in Zeon.
Yeah.
Because there's the warring factions, and he's trying to make it so that they don't develop the new psycho gun, because right now Cecilia has kind of a monopoly on the tech, and until the cyber new types
they are not yet really introduced yet. But
so it's kind of like,
High Command was it Giren? That's the adversary.
Yeah.
He is kind of, and what I feel like, he's buying time until he can catch up, and until he can catch up, he's just sabotaging Celia's stuff.
Yeah, and so basically, the best part of this is obviously Nan gains control over the new Gundam and uses its ear things, like the little lasers, and essentially fucking this, the animation for it's so funny, because it's like the guy just gets fucking vaporized out of existence. He just disappears.
2 frames. You see him intact, You see him.
Yeah, you see. I wonder. I don't know. I don't have the episode, but we should bring that up. It's fucking funny. It's like actually funny. I watched it and I was like, damn. He gets fucking eviscerated. And it's not even like gory or anything, right? Like it's not gory or like brutal. It's just like, yeah, the laser like hits him and then he's just gone. It's just gone. It's like, goddamn. All right, well, you try and set that up if you want to do it. I'll just keep.
Yeah, I can figure something
so
out.
So basically, yeah, we find out. Oh, yeah. By the way, the Gundam, the Quarks, has been stolen, and Nana's like, oh yeah, Machu's probably doing some shit, and then obviously we get the preview for next episode where Machu is like stealing the Gundam and is falling to Earth, right? And we get hints of a certain very important character showing up next episode.
Yeah, some guy. I've seen her before once in some out of context.
She's very important. Supposedly she never met Char in this universe, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Because her and Char had a very, very, very tight relationship in the original show. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how that works. So, but yeah, Gundam Quarks is honestly the best fucking thing to come out this season, like straight up.
There we go.
Yeah, it is straight up the best fucking show. Like it's fan fucking tastic.
Here we go. Whoosh.
Yeah, here we go. We got it. We got both of them. We got the. Yeah, I'm waiting for it to pop up on the.
Oh, just one image.
Oh yeah, there he is. There he is. Yeah, look at him. He's just gone. Absolutely fucking gone.
One frame.
You get that one frame. Like when you're watching it, you don't even like recognize that happening. It's like he just vanishes. He's just eviscerated, completely disintegrated. Not even ash remains, right? Like the ash itself is gone. Like he's just rendered to atoms. Fucking god.
Yeah, I'm very.
No, that was.
All right, Russell. This is the big discussion. Let's do our get ourselves into the big Gundam discussion. Natsu, is there going to be a second core?
I don't know because we're on episode 8 right now, right?
Yes.
I have a feeling, depending on what direction the story is going, they could probably wrap this up in one core because the pacing's been pretty good. And we're kind of getting... So it'll depend on what the setup's going to be like for the finale,
So
right?
the thing is, Natsu, Witch from Mercury wasn't... the second core was not announced until it was like episode 10 also.
So yeah, I think it'll depend because I feel like the way the story's been going, we obviously know that there's going to be a Machu versus Nan in their respective Gundams fight setup, right? Like that's obviously going to be like the finale. It's going to be like the different factions fighting, right? And we're going to kind of see the outcome of that. I'm not sure. It'll depend. It'll really depend kind of on how they end it because to me this is feeling like it's going to be a one core thing. Like I don't think they're going to need more than one core based on how it's going. It's not suffering from like the Metallic Rogue problem where it's like it's so fucking complicated and they're trying to do too much and it needs more than one core. Yeah, it doesn't have that problem. Like I feel like this has been paced well enough and it's compact enough that I mean, I'd love to get another core because I'm fucking loving it. I think
so the thing, I'm kind of leaning towards that there will be a second core. That's because there is, I don't see them resolving the big political stuff in 4 episodes.
No, I think
so. Either they are going to say that was way too big, that's out of the scope of this show. And we're going to kind of narrow the focus back down and say, Showa is going to cryptically show up and disappear again, and then it's kind of just like a mystery what will happen in the future. There's an uneven status quo. Or this whole Lovecraft god name building construction that they are doing, and these new type Gundams and the cyber, the artificial new types. This conflict will just grow and grow, and that will lead the second core. If it will just get condensed down towards our Nyan and Machu. If it will focus on those two girls, then it can stay small. But I feel like there's too much introduced in, unless of course all the elements that has been introduced are there for the hardcore old hat fans.
Well, it's possible that what they could do is we could have a situation where it's like we can resolve the Machu Na Shuji situation,
Yes.
right? And then the political stuff could continue in like a future like timeline work, right? Like maybe we'll see, because it'll depend on what they do, right? Because if we have like the freeway war, and obviously someone is either gonna fucking win that or it's gonna continue status quo, right? So depending on what the direction they go and who actually comes out on top politically in the conflict, right? Is it going to be Ball and Chars kind of, eliminate both of Zion's things so that we can like actually have a functional society, right? Or is the Federation going to come back and do stuff? Or is there going to be something with the cyber new types?
What's interesting to me, and that's in the political nitty-gritty of the show, is that the cyber new type seems, unless I'm mistaken, it's also true for the original series, that the cyber new types were a Federation invention.
They were, yeah.
So if the High Commander Giran is using cyber types, that means that Giran is in league with the remnants of the Federation.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the thing. What I mean, that the political implication has scaled very large. So unless they can focus it down, it will need more stuff. It will need more time.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
We'll definitely see how it goes. I'm keen. I all I have to say really is that, like I said, best show of the season.
I might give it. I'm still going to give it to Shoshimin because it's my mystery show.
I mean, yeah, fair enough. But I feel for me, I'm like, Gundam has been the one that I've been the most like looking forward to watching every week, because there's so much going on, right? There's so much going on, and it's been so interesting to kind of see it progress. Yeah, I'm very interested. I'm very interested to see where this goes. But yeah. Yeah,
it's hard to compete against the Gundam show in big quality or whatnot. But yeah, it's been a good season. We're like 3/4 through, literally, I guess, almost. And yeah, it's a fairly good season in that sense.
Yeah, it's been pretty. It's been pretty good.
Oh yeah, I only watched one episode of Guilty Gear. Sorry, I'm looking at the list.
I haven't been watching that either.
And fun ending thing, Naretsu. There's a new character in Guilty Gear, Unica. That's kind of the reason why.
Is that the one? I've been kind of seeing some of that around, but
a black-haired girl with a crossing of blue hair in her, and she was wearing a jacket.
Something.
Big sword thing. Retsu. Here's a fun thing, a fandom thing. Bridget has been shipped with May for a while. They're the popular ship. Lore-wise, May has a thing for Johnny, another character basically. But the fans don't care. Since when has fans cared about official shipping and whatnot? Official pairings. The fans like it. So Naretsu, in the anime, Bridget and Unica hook up or do stuff together. And look, hey, they're kind of cute together. That's cool. And now Naretsu, there's been implications in trailers and whatnot that Bridget and Unica are more of a thing than May and Bridget. So there's been shipping wars.
Oh boy.
And the thing is like that there's of course a character trailer, and scene 1, Naretsu, Bridget and Unica are standing across each other, and as the start of a fighting game. Next scene, Unica is beating up May, which means that Unica is getting May away from Bridget. Scene-wise, so it's like betrayal.
Big
betrayal.
Big shipping wars.
Our Arc System Works is forcing this ship over my ship. And there's like, no, they're cute together. I like Uni Bridget, so there's now a shipping war in the Guilty Gear fan. I'm like,
right.
which one is the cutest?
Well,
ship?
anyway, I guess that.
With that breaking news, and also this. Rest in peace, Super Earth President. You killed 1 million Illuminates. For sure.
Yeah, for reals. Yeah. Alright, we'll catch you guys next time.
Later.
Bye.